Hello and welcome to another match of Crystal Full Item Rando Tournament 2022. I'm Silver and joined with me is Raylan.
Hey.
So this will be an exciting match. We got Prism who topped his group, which was a pretty intense group. And then we have Rob who got through as well as second place. So this will be a nice, good match, I think.
Definitely be an interesting race to see. I'd
Wait,
say
wait.
Prism maybe slightly cleaner in execution stuff or movement, so can maybe make up or can maybe get a little bit advantage there, but overall there can anything happen in these seats, so
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Prism is a little bit more favorite. He is a little bit more experienced and everything, but he is okay. I mean, they're both good racers. I mean, well, of course, yesterday I went into one of the most horrible seeds with Rob, so he was keeping up with me pretty good, and then Red was just evil, so you never know. We got a chat already hoping for a vanilla basement play again. Oof.
Always an interesting one. Can work out in your favor, but sometimes can also be your detriment.
I mean, sometimes you just, when you know it's getting late in the time, you gotta do the bold plays. I still think that play was the bold play and the one to do. It didn't work out, but I think I would just handily do that anytime. Doesn't look like we have great starter choices. Probably
Definitely
gonna settle with the Cubone. Just the one that can actually run away from things. None of them can really survive, but they can at least run away.
It's at least something that the others cannot do. Oh, we have the secret potion immediately from the start.
Yeah. We got just tracked as our TM from Mom. This is gonna be a little bit tough to run away from already. We got Quillfish on this, and not a runnable Cubone. Not that I think our runners would actually think about it. We do have a Furo here too, so consider it might be a possibility to go back for it. I don't know, but oh no. See, you might. Oh jeez, that Furo has Pedal Dance Earthquake now. Jeez. Whew. Run away! Rob didn't take off whatever item was on Cubone. I don't know what item was on it. It would be both for the same. But yeah, sometimes with these kind of starters, you might want to save between each patch of grass so you don't take that nice trip back to Mom.
Yeah, usually not something that you are really worried about if you have anything that can remotely run away from things, but that's not the case today, and
Yeah. So Prism did stop by in the center. Rob did not. So if Rob is unlucky in this first route before going to talk to Mr. Pokemon, he's unfortunately going to be taking the trip back home.
and
Say hi to Mom.
Yeah, and we do have an old rod found, so we can immediately check for a level 10
was it an old
Pokemon.
rod that was in that check. Okay. So there are two different. I was looking at different those fishing shots, just going back there. So once again, for those who are a little unaware, fishing groups are divided. There are 9 in Crystal with a couple of swarm fishing slots, but Route 30 is different than Cherry Grove. So you have 2 options here, and then once you go past once you get past the first trainer, and you can go into Dark Cave, that's a third fishing slot, third fishing group that's different. If you're especially lucky in the beginning, you can even do New Bark, which is a 4th different group, but usually people don't want to go all the way back there.
Well, Rob almost did go all the way back there, barely on the way to Mr. Pokemon had some very, very close encounters with some Jumpluff with Crab Hammer, but got through on 1 HP.
Alright, so we have a very runnable Venusaur. Sasas would be very proud of that. He loves running a Venusaur. Interestingly, Rob hasn't tried checking the fishing rods. I guess, so it's understandable to do that, but I don't think you have really a good mate at the moment. Let's be honest.
Yeah. If you would have a main, or at least a starter that would be reasonable to say, okay, whatever happens on the first train I can get through, sure. We do have apparently a bit of luck here that the trainers really, or the training really has no good Pokemon with Nidoran and Kakuna, so Cubone got through. Maybe the intention from Rob is to check in Dark Cave or on Route 31.
He might not even remember that he has the fish rod, but that's true too as well. Yeah. But on the other side, so the fishing encounters are sort of a gamble because it's not totally. So what we have is good early wilds, and that stops at level 9. Once you're level 10, it's anyone's guess if it's fully evolved or not. So he's using the rod now. He didn't save. But that's okay. So he might be able to pick up this Venusaur as well. Because it does look to be the comp.
It is.
So, early game getting that little bit of experience before Mikey actually can help make or break a kind of a Pokemon you're going with. Because those first few levels are actually really important. But Venusaur is very good. Rob will be very happy with that. Prism going into Dark Cave. Yeah, so Venusaur is a little underrated because its typing is bad. However, its moveset is really good, and it learns a lot of moves very early on. Which makes it especially more ideal in Bingo, but it makes it pretty good when you get it early on with item randos.
Yeah, it might not be the Pokemon you run all the way to Red, but as a Pokemon to get you at least to the first stages of the game, until you maybe can main switch to an Pokemon in Kanto, or maybe are even lucky and have an early Snorlax or something of that kind. Venusaur is definitely a decently statted Pokemon to get you there, so yeah.
Speaking of early Snorlax, we already have the expansion card. But yeah, Venusaur actually is very underrated. It's got about 100 special attack, which is very solid in terms of that kind of thing. Yeah, I put my bar at about 90 to 100 for attacking pokes. Well, I suppose usually 100, but you never know. So I still wonder what's on the Cubone because Rob hasn't taken it off. But he is gonna at least buy that escape rope and hope for some money in. Looks like we have Venusaur also in the grass there as well, which I think would have a slightly different moveset because Venusaur learns, I think, one more move between 5 and 10, and then I think 2 moves afterwards.
Slight difference here in strategy. Is Prism already tackling the gym? Rob is going to the escape rope chamber first, so let's see if there are some items in here that maybe are influencing the decisions of Rob.
Absolutely. And this is, I totally respect Prism's call here to just go to the gym. You have a level 10 you can push through. I think generally it's still safer to go through to Sprout Tower first to get those extra early levels, but when you have a level 10, it really doesn't make it's not really as big of a problem, especially when you're very confident in your moveset like Prism is. I don't think Rob has any more escape ropes. I don't think he got one of the escape ropes in the escape rope chamber, so he may just have to take the walk of shame.
I wanna say Rob attempted to at least buy 2 escape ropes.
He didn't have enough money. He only had enough for one, I think. But he may have grabbed one before. I don't remember. Yeah, but this Venusaur is just making sure work in. I don't know what happened, but did Prism just reset? Cause he's fighting the level 9 golem again.
I couldn't tell you. There was an Ivysaur there, and
I saw an Ivysaur, and then okay, he must have wiped there. So
yeah, I mean, using Slam is always the feels bad moment because that 75% accuracy is more close to 25% accuracy, and
yeah.
Yeah, if that Ivysaur has something like Psybeam...
Oh, it's got Psybeam, so he just... Oh, he's just relying on Slam. Oh no. That's not what you want to see.
Yeah, if you get confused there, maybe crit, and Venusaur already almost down again. Oh, that's... oh god.
At least it's a Donphan following up, so that's easy water gun. We did see Rob getting encounter in Sprout Tower. I think one of the things I've started learning from Storms and just started overall picking up is repel for things even you wouldn't think about repelling. Repel Sprout Tower, repel Slowpoke Well. I mean, you can sort of carry those things on a lot easier. I actually like the repelling Slowpoke Well because then it leans more into you fight Rival 2 afterwards and get those extra steps that you would normally have to repel early. You get those extra steps enough to get to just about the item, and then it's only a few more steps, and then you do another repel, and it's just pretty clean out there, instead of having to do more than 2 repels in like a really odd spot. It's just very simple, and you're going to be backtracking anyways.
Prism really having no luck with Slam here. It's yeah. Unfortunately, Venusaur does not really have a move against grass-type Pokemon yet, so Slam would be the best choice at the moment, and yeah, it's not working in Prism's favor so far, but it's through the gym.
Well, we do see Zap Cannon TM out there in the pool. Always love seeing that. It's good against Red. You're using it actually anyways, so pretty good base power. Yeah. I do prefer the play of going into the escape rope chamber first, because you never know when you can get the square bottle. It always feels bad to invest so much into a main that you're just gonna just switch off of anyways.
Yeah. But the escape rope chamber not always does have something, as we do see we have waterfall on the other, and doing it this way is actually more efficient, since you are not doing or walking back and forth around Violet as much. So if there's nothing in here or just money, then
yeah. But it looks like Rob is taking the walk of shame, which is rather unfortunate.
Yeah, that does cost a few seconds.
Even gets an encounter, oof. But he's out. So luckily with the Sprout Tower is that there is one floor, this base ground floor, that there are no encounters on, and you spend about half your time going there and half the time elsewhere. So this is gonna be, I think this is gonna be a good match. So I guess Prism decided to do the gym first, and then realizing maybe I want to just go back to the Sprout Tower.
Yeah, and at this point, or being more efficient, going to gym first, and then, or even doing Sprout Tower first if you can. Yeah, if you then do escape rope chamber and then walk back, that's out of the window. So,
I mean, this is kind of a little bit. Oh, I mean, it's kind of a little bit of time lost at that point, but I mean, we're not really doing much. And oh, we got the switch strats onto Thunder Punch. The AI reading the plays on Rob's mind. I think it just saw that, you know, there's that move, although it's interesting. The AI switch chances are so weird. There's like no... There's kind of no rhyme or reason to that, I feel like. I think it sees like a move that's gonna like murder one of it, or do a lot of damage, and tries to switch out. But there's no guarantee to it. There's only one class of trainers that is more inclined to switch out, and that's jugglers. But even then, it's just I don't think really anyone knows why the AI just will switch out. Yeah. So Rob is having a little bit easier time to get through the gym, and it sort of is kind of due to just having those extra levels, really, and a slightly different choice of moves. Where he used Thunder Punch a lot more than Slam.
Yeah, the Pokemon were not really that strong, even with the Regress type being Sunkern.
Yeah.
In the tower, so yeah, pushing through with Thunder Punch, which has still 70 base power, does work out in the end, and
well, in the early
it's
game,
more reliable than Slam.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, in the early game, base power matters a lot more. Base power of the moves matter than lots more than the stats. So as long as you're hitting it with a strong move, you're good to go. But you know, that's only in the early game. And we have Rob gonna do a little bit more shopping. I think he definitely needs, was looking into doing that. Now that he's got a little bit more items. Selling the XP, the Carbos, a lot of them. Keeping the Gold Berry. I don't know if, I wonder if he's gonna have it equipped. Just to kind of as a backup thing. Saving his money, I guess. Buying those X defense early. Although, yeah, I appreciate this, definitely, because you know this is the small shopping that you can do now. Although I prefer to just do my X item shopping all at once in Goldenrod.
Yeah, Prism with Sprout Tower does have Waterfall too. I mean, currently there's definitely a consideration of maybe just teaching Waterfall to
Oh no, you
Venusaur.
absolutely. No, you absolutely do it. No need to wait for serve. I know it's kind of weird, but yeah.
It's just because you are not that likely to run the Venusaur all the way to the end, so whatever the case, you're probably not maining it. No, it is not your main. You do not really need Surf on it, and Waterfall is an 80 base power move, I believe, still, which is actually insane for having as as an HM, but gets just outperformed by Surf. So yeah, there should be no hesitation to teach it, especially early on, to something you are most likely going to switch up of at some point. And
yeah, I mean,
definitely an upgrade to Water Gun.
I mean, the other thing is that Waterfall is pretty good. I know Surf is stronger, but Waterfall is just almost as good, and for the most part, it's gonna get the job done. And you never know when Surf is gonna be, so it could be now, it could be, you know, hours later. I mean, it is possible, however rare, to have a non-Surf seed. So.
On the other hand, if we are finding, although we do not have the Fog Badge yet, so that not, but if you find Surf, there's always a chance that you are switching up to a stronger main very soon.
Oh, Zan, I very much value Venusaur. Venusaur is very runnable. It's defensively bulky. It is got very good special attack. Its main faults, of course, is being its typings are not very good defensively. Mostly Grass being a liability. Although it looks like Rob, never mind. I think Rob's just fine with it. No, I mean, is it my top pick? No, but I would rate it probably about a B tier. I think I put it either B or A tier. So it's very solid to run the entire game. I'd probably put it high B, low A, mostly in the B tier. Just kind of, its typing is really vulnerable. But with this moveset, it's runnable until the end of the game.
Yeah, it's more of an yeah. If you get a early chance to switch, it's more likely to switch off it. It has not the greatest moveset yet, and yeah, running it from level 10 all the way to the end can always be a bit of a struggle.
Venusaur is definitely, as we mentioned though, a power early pick because it does learn so many moves.
It always depends on what other Pokemon you can find. There are some Pokemon I would probably always switch to if I can encounter them in a reasonable level frame, but yeah, with this Venusaur I definitely would not switch to as much of the not so strong Pokemon.
Oops. I end up doing text to speech. Oops. Oh, that's why Rob was checking his back. He got burned. Okay, so. Oh, I didn't realize it was the Venusaur was trying to learn submission as well.
Yep, it already did on Rob's side. Does definitely improve the moveset a bit. We find Flash.
Alright, so now things are gonna get a little bit more intriguing, so... You know, I always get super paranoid when I find Flash early, because it's just like, okay, Zephyr Badge is gonna be around early. And then I've had these seeds where it's just like, oh no, Zephyr Badge wasn't early. And just... It just throws me a little bit off, you know, like, because you never know. There's so much you try to learn, try to infer about what the seed does, but sometimes you just... just gotta take it for the face value, though. So you do see a little bit of the difference here, though, with Prism versus Rob, because Prism did teach that waterfall right there, and I think he's having a little bit easier time, besides the fact that that Rob's Venusaur got burned. But that water gun is a little bit different, you know, it's not going to one-shot things the way that Waterfall is. And also, teaching submission is gonna be good coverage, or is good against those pesky normal types that they were doing, but it's just a good move overall compared to some of the other things they have. And I guess, Raylan, from your experience, how willing are you just to slap TMs and HMs on, knowing you might just main change? Because I think that's what sort of makes the difference between when you're grasping the ropes and when you're kind of learning the stuff and then, you know, taking it to the next level.
It depends. I'm usually more hesitant to teach the very strong TMs. I'm way more liberal with the not as strong TMs, like Wing Attack. But stuff like Crunch also, I may be waiting around a bit if my moveset is decent. Of course, especially like for things like Waterfall or such, if my moveset is just not that great and can be improved considerably, I'll just say, okay, teach it. And we'll see if it's happening later. Because most of the time, actually on my runs, I end up with all these awesome TMs for physical attackers like Earthquake, Drill Peck and such, and then running special attackers all the way to the end. Or the other way around. Finding like Thunder Punch, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam and stuff, and have a physical main to run. So, yeah. More often than not, I actually end up with quite a bunch of TMs in the bag.
I mean, I generally don't sell TMs, but yeah, I am with you that I'm a little bit more hesitant to teach, especially when I just don't like what I'm running. But I think one of the things I've started to kind of learn is just to be okay with doing it. And maybe being less hesitant with those good TMs, like, look, you need to go through it. Like, I guess the one hesitancy I always had was, oh, teaching Waterfall to your main, like, ew, or and then later getting Surf. And I think just, it's fine to have Surf Waterfall on your main. Really, so sometimes you just gotta learn to do with less and what you got, and I guess that's part of the full item, because there is a lot more variants into sort of the seeds, you never know when, for example, I had a ROM yesterday that no strength at all, and everyone's just waiting for strength, and it just never showed up. Wasn't needed, never showed up.
Now, regarding HMs, I actually, or especially like Surf, Waterfall, and Strength, Surf and Strength you'll probably almost always teach to whatever you're running if it can use it, but especially Waterfall, I'm probably very, very liberal on using it, and maybe even more often than others, because if you have Surf Waterfall, it's fine. Most of the time, if you have that on a main, you have quite a bunch of PP that you can run through, and you have most likely are running a Pokemon which you can force your way through anything else.
Yeah, exactly. I do like that, and I think you're right. Like I'm a little bit more hesitant with Waterfall just because I came up playing the old Key Item Randos before, and I kind of had this thing that every time I saw Waterfall, Surf was soon to follow. So I still have that mentality a lot of the time where I'm just like, okay, Surf is gonna come. But it's a little bit different because there were so few items, and also there was a different item placement algorithm. So where that was kind of the random fill going, which is more prone to front-loading things rather than what we have here, which is assume fill, which is basically going from the back working forwards.
Okay, we do have a difference here, especially since that submission teach, Rob didn't teach it, Prism did, and although we had a very, very nice thing going all the way up to Bugsy, especially with that submission, Prism just pulled a bit ahead here on.
Yeah, well, I mean, Prism still has to do that one check. But, yeah, this is kind of the difference of being willing to just teach those strong moves. Having that waterfall has been playing a lot bigger role, and you can see sort of the times where Rob's been struggling in using water gun, which is like a 3 or 4 shot, versus the waterfall, which is a 2 shot.
And especially Rob's moveset is really not balanced to take on this Grime, actually. It really, really struggles.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't want to be harping on to, Rob's gameplay too much. I mean, I guess it's sort of more of a difference in showing kind of how the approach is and just taking what the game gives you and just running with it kind of thing. Like, sure, submission by no means is a great move, but I think it's just better than some of the other. I don't know what other move Rob has, but it's not really doing.
Okay. While we were talking here, we just found Squirt, Bottle, Fog Badge, and Surf.
Oh, was there Surf that I missed too?
Yeah, they will just come up for Rob right now, both here in the
Okay,
Ilex Forest.
I definitely didn't catch Surf. I caught the Fog Badge.
Okay,
there it is. So I guess in this case, Rob might. Rob didn't teach Waterfall in this case to his main, but yeah, as Prism just shows that he doesn't have necessarily the flexibility necessarily to do it. But he does teach Surf to Cubone, because it looks like he's gonna backtrack, and I think he's looking for a new main.
Yeah.
Or at least getting these items, which is real quick. I don't know if he saved before he escape roped, but I imagine he did, because I do like that play. Rob taking a lot more. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a move that I personally also like to do, especially this early, if you have not that great of a main. So just look around here if you maybe find something especially strong. Grab 2 items that are now fully in logic, which can always be progression, can always be parts of fly. You never know. Didn't help, unfortunately, here.
Okay, so that's Perish Song. There's a Perish Song TM. Ooh, that actually... So, I actually would consider buying that for red. Like, I know right now money is a little bit of a premium, but sometimes you gotta do long-term planning. And I do like that Prism did save before exiting the forest there to be able to do those quick checks. One other thing here is, I know I've been talking to Storms, and he was pointing out that, that what he likes to do is he likes to go through Goldenrod, pick up and then go turn into Kenya and do the rock smash or the pseudo widow tree first when you get that squirt bottle in like Azalea, and then come back because you're gonna have to go double dip back anyways for both the Kenya item and the rock smash GM. We do see here Prism surfing all the way over. Does find a T-Tar in the water.
Yeah, T-Tar, very, very strong physical attacker. Although the type are not the greatest, does have quite a few weaknesses, and that moveset definitely not one you want to see on a T-Tar.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, it was good catch because I don't think he has very many Pokemon to take the 8 gems right now, so he needed a third Pokemon right there, so it's not like he's looking to main switch to it. But at this point, so you got kind of some interesting plays here, and I do like, as we were talking about, Prism kind of skipping through briefly to go backtrack, whereas Rob's taking a more completionist view of this.
That's a radio card on the Lady in the Bench in the National Park. Yeah, I did speak of that early Snorlax.
Well, we don't have quite access to that yet. We don't have Kanto access yet.
we are getting closer. We are basically halfway there, and that's not or you are not finding all of the parts as early always. So it's definitely a thing that could actually happen in the seed.
Oh, was he not able to run from that Gligar with the Venusaur? Oof. Kind of forgot how quick Gligar is. Turning in that Kenya. Goodbye, Charmander or Charmeleon. That's the only two who could be with that. I actually at that point would consider, I think, saving and doing the quick checks of route the. Actually, no, he can do the other quick checks, but I might have considered checking the Mystic Water guy when you had a chance there.
Yeah, the problem with this is you do still have those Rock Smash checks. You do already have Flash, and you're missing just a Zephyr Badge for them to be in Logic. You have quite a few checks open where this Zephyr Badge could be, and yeah, if you want to return for those somewhat soonish anyway, there's no reason to check that. What a check in
Check just the Mystic Water, and then hold off on the Route 27 items until you go back with Rock Smash, if you were to do that. But, I mean, that's a little bit of a big gamble. Yeah, so there's definitely some good TMs for our runners, should they choose the main switch. But the moment we're just kind of playing it as is. Prism can do the quick contest quitting, the contest quit strats. I think it's reasonable play. I've already, in the past, I've already voiced my concerns for, you know, the rare crash, but more so that the cutscene itself is kind of annoying as well. I'd rather just save reset. And I think Rob just wiped to Whitney.
Kinda looks like it.
Yeah. Oh, Megahorn Machoke was what did him in.
Yeah. There's actually the point, if you would have picked up the Kenya before doing Whitney in this case, you kinda could...
Well, I mean, he would have had revive. It would be able to revive from there, but you know, I mean, it could have been a play as well, even if you did wipe to it.
What I want to say is you could just turn the Kenya in and then have that already done when you return back to Goldenrods for Rock Smash.
Yeah. Rob's not repelling as much as I would hope to. He's been picking up a lot of encounters at the point, but looks like Prism is just happy to go with this T-Tar. He did go teach it, at least the Karate Chop TM, and imagine, maybe Crunch?
Yeah, I mean, Stab Crunch, T-Tar, like I said, a very strong physical attacker, but its special is not too bad, so...
No, it's got a respectable special. I still have some issues running T-Tar, but that's just different ones. And here is the Rising Badge. So this is going to actually more incentivize doing that Rock Smash check. I'd say a little bit out of logic. Because we still don't have the Zephyr Badge. We're kind of assuming we're going to get the Zephyr Badge soon. We do have Flash, but either way, he's going to be able to do those Rock Smash ones. And, you know, you can couple that in with the Route 27 checks.
Yeah. You know, what I personally would maybe more inclined to do, and what is also mentioned in chat, is we do have access to the back of Mount Mortar, and there are up to level 33 Pokemon in there. So if you are looking for maybe a main switch, that
I think 32 is where it caps out at, but
okay, yeah,
it is a main switch
that.
possible. Yeah, no, absolutely, that's a thing to do. I think, you know, that's a main switch kind of thing. There is also the level 30 shiny you could pick up. I know people are super averse to that because of the shiny animation, but if it's a special Pokemon, it's a guaranteed 10 special, which is very good.
Yeah. It just feels so slow having that animation every time, and especially if you do have to do still so much fights with that.
Look, I'm just saying, it's a Pokemon with a good special guaranteed.
Yeah.
I mean, I realize in my race, doing a trade experience Pokemon sounds really good, but it's almost the same amount of time because every time you defeat a Pokemon, there's that extra experience text box.
Yeah, the big difference there is just you get higher level with the trade box.
Yeah.
Which helps
I mean, I mean, you have to worry about beans, but you don't have to worry about beans when you have a Rising Badge. Fog Badge does give a pretty good cushion though, as well as a level 50, but yeah, Mount Mortar main is a thing. You're still gonna be suffering though from encounters though up the wazoo. I do believe Prism has already bought TM8, or if he's, or not yet, he's about to. But I guess there's a lot of times to repel, and unfortunately Route 36 is one of those ones with freaking... it doesn't matter that there's 2 tiles of grass you go through. It seems like you're always going to get an encounter there. It doesn't matter. There's like 3 certain things in life. You gotta pay. There's taxes, there's death, and encounters on Route 36.
Yeah. I do like my repels for many stuff, but that's the one... The one road where I always say, there can't be an encounter this time, right? And I will get proven wrong every single time again.
Yeah. Yeah, no, every single time, it's... I don't know, it feels bad to repel for those 2 tiles, and I think most people won't, and you just chance it. But it just feels like those 2 tiles have like a 70 or 80% chance of getting an encounter there, and it's just mind-boggling. Yeah, as Garf says that in the Vanilla Crystal speed runs, they actually cut that grass. It's just that bad.
It's notorious, apparently. I mean,
Yeah, and
if
it's
you
just like
are
so
going,
well.
yeah, if you are going to repel for this, then you can also just cut it if you have it available. So
Yeah, it just
would be an option. We just don't have it, or that really we don't really have that option most of the time.
no.
Actually, if you have it, then you have the option to just do the shortcut and not go through the national park. And yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so Rob's kind of going back and forth. Not going back to Whitney, so we're hoping. It just looks like this Machoke was just. Its Megahorn was just too much for the T-Tar. But we'll see if, unfortunately, Rob missed something or if he's just getting let off the hook there. Okay, so he's not truly missing anything. He is missing that one rare candy. I think there's, when I've been reading or talking to people, I think there's only 6 rare candies in this mode. On a normal seed. Of course, hidden items are a different ballgame entirely. But
Yeah, I cannot remember having ever gotten up to 7 rare candies if I didn't get it.
I think the only time I've gotten over 7 is when hidden items are included, which I think brings up the total closer to 9 or 10. But my favorite is, of course, I have, of course, gone my favorite part is, of course, turning in that mystery egg for a juicy 5 pieces of candy.
Yeah. I mean, what I learned from this tournament that you always should turn in this mystery eggs, because more likely than not there's a badge on it, at least with this settings, but that's just my experience
I don't know,
so far.
I don't know, I mean, that might be your experience, but turning in the mystery egg is generally a good idea. And that's a vanilla coin case. We've had a couple vanilla items pointed out in the chat. We got the vanilla lure ball from Kurt. We got the vanilla coin case right here.
So how about vanilla Lugia and Wall Islands?
Oh, please no. I don't want to see our runners running that. Please. I've run it a couple times. It would have worked had Red not had something actually super effective against Lugia.
Again, Prism.
Oh, well, you got an encounter, but that's a Blissey. That's still a couple hundred experience. Oh no, does it even want it? Does it even want to give it? Come on, man.
Yeah. I mean, if that Blissey were only level 10 or something, that would be even more XP. It's just...
It's
the
so wild, so it's not even as much because trainer Pokemon give you twice the experience that the wild does. So that'd be maybe a couple hundred at most. We do see Prism beelining to Rival 3. I think he's not happy with either the Tito nor the Venusaur, and would like a new roamer.
Yeah, both movesets are kind of lackluster. I mean, Stab Crunch definitely not something to scoff at, but...
Sorry, I apologize. Garf has corrected me. It's 1.5 times. I was a little... I am a little bit off with that.
Oh, TM28. We have Dig available for Prism, so no need to worry about escape ropes anymore.
I still prefer stocking up on escape ropes.
Yeah, it does free your money up a little bit, and we are still in a part of the game where money is not as excessive yet. So, might help get a few more X items this a bit earlier, maybe, or something like that. But it's not a real big need to have.
Yeah, I just don't like having to fiddle around with Pokemon movesets, trying to order it, whatever, in a useful thing. I'd rather just go to the bag, have my escape ropes always. I have it. My escape ropes always on slot 3. I have repel slot 1, healing slot 2, escape rope slot 3, and we're good.
Yeah, my problem is that I sometimes fat finger an escape rope when I want to repel, and that always feels bad when you're somewhere in the middle of Mount Mortar. So I just for personal reasons prefer to have the ability to get out of caves and the ability to repel as far away from each other as possible. So
fair enough. I mean, there's you know, everyone has their preference. But anyway, we have the roamers right now, so let's listen up for this. Alrighty, chat. I don't know. Oh, that's such a glorious sound. So I know what the last two are. Or at least for sure know the last one, the Suicune. I love that Suicune Pokemon. It's so
Do we have a
glorious.
Granbull as Raikou?
Um,
Because Prism seems to be appearing to look for it, and he's not looking for
no,
the.
I think he's. I think he's just looking for a roamer. It might be a Granbull. I think personally, it might have been more for. I think that was Executor. I thought for some, my initial thought was Hypno, but I'm thinking it was Executor. Or no, it was Hypno, and of course, the Mantine Suicune.
Yeah, Mantine is pretty distinct. You can
Meep
always
meep meep.
catch it.
It's the meep meep meep. You gotta. It's if there's some cries to learn, that one is like very distinct.
So Hypno, I was pretty sure on.
Yeah, I was pretty sure it was a Hypno, and nobody really wants it. Although, I think Prism is going to do the waterfall. He's going for that early new main.
But yeah, I want to say that Raikou cry at least sounded like something I might consider running if I encountered. I'm not as great as with Pokemon cries as many others, so I go more like feeling, and that first cry definitely felt like something like a Granbull.
I mean, I trust Garf, and Garf knows his cries, so Granbull, he says it's Granbull, so I trust him. Granbull is workable for a level 40. I mean, I personally have I really like it. It's kind of it's a lesser bear, but that's nothing to scoff at. Bear is a little bit stronger in all ways, but Granbull might actually have a little bit more defense, but no, Granbull is very workable, especially when you're gonna be guaranteed at least strength.
And getting access to the level 40 at this point is just making the rest of this so much smoother.
Oh no, absolutely, and I think that's partly why Prism prioritized it to hope for that, and then wasn't gonna really try too much, and then you didn't go for this. Almost escape roped there.
Yep. It has happened to pretty much all of us at some point, so...
it's sort of a rite of passage to, oops, I just escape roped. And okay, so we got a level 30 Pikachu. The slots here, the levels are the same regardless of day and night, or daytime, nighttime, whatever. Pikachu definitely not something we're inclined to run. Some people may choose to run it, but I'm always a fan of demolishing any Pikachu in front of my face.
I mean, there's worse things to run than Raichu, but
we got Blossom. I mean, it not what we're looking for. I think it's pretty safe. So we'll still have, I think, at least 2 32 slots, or at least in a couple more 31 slots as well. I don't think there's any 33s. I'd have to check the data again, but... Alright, we got a Machop. Actually, I think that's workable. Because Machamp is pretty good.
Yeah, we would have to run the Machoke for a few levels, as I believe
it would be until 37.
Yeah.
But, I mean... I do think generally T-Tar is a little bit stronger than Machamp. I mean... But, oh, there's an Arcanine. Okay, I think we may be switching to that. It is unfortunately the lowest level of those, but it's got Double Edge Icy Wind? I mean, you got Surf, I would run it.
Yeah,
but
but
he's not
apparently
interested.
Prism seems not interested, and I kind of can understand it. If you want to main switch, you do not want really to switch something that's just 4 levels higher.
Okay, so he was
maybe he's
looking for
going
that.
the
He was
Machop.
looking for that Machop, because the last one was female, so he wants that male Machop, which is guaranteed to have at least 8 or more attack.
Yeah,
And
Machop with Crunch already showing it's a good mage. No, we all love our mage champs.
I might just want it to repel things, because that 28 wouldn't be able to repel things either way. But yeah, I don't think he's not really satisfied with the move set. I think it seems.
I think he just says, okay, we will get this to work. At least it will help repelling here.
Yeah.
Although it does not protect from other Machops.
No, you'd have to invest one more. You'd have to invest one more piece of candy. I think out of the slots there that we've seen, I would have been happiest with the Arcanine, and just relied on whatever TMs I got. Although
that's a Mew?
that's okay.
On
Okay, I
32,
think.
okay, yeah.
All right, I think with
And
Shadow
a
Ball.
Shadow Ball.
All right. Oh, Shadow Ball Rock Slide. I don't normally like running Mews, just out of principle. It's not that it's good all around. It just, unfortunately, it's legendary, so it just doesn't usually work as well as some of the other ones. But it's very good as is.
Yeah, that's a decent moveset for now.
Oh, absolutely. You just complement it with Surf, and you're good.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that would does make the Machop maybe slightly more runnable currently is that it has Sharpened, so you have a built-in X attack in there.
Yeah, and it looks like Rob just picked up the Glacier badge in... Oh, did he not catch that Mew? Oh.
Nope. Apparently did run from it, so... Maybe not interested. Unfortunately... Ooh, there's Fly. Unfortunately, Machop got fainted, so he does not have that repel protection anymore against the other Pokemon. Yeah. Pikachu with Earthquake and then Whirlwind. Got the Mineral Badge.
Oh, is that for Rob? I just... no, that's for,
Prism.
Prism there. Yeah, sorry.
So we had Fly over in the lighthouse for Rob.
Oh, we had... Oh, that's really clutch. I know he did the Kimono Girls and they gave him a TM, but I didn't see what else happened. And this is unfortunately one of the rough parts about going to early Mount Mortar. If you're not catching a main that you really want, or something that can be runnable, it just... You're just gonna unfortunately suffer through those encounters for that one floor.
And it's unfortunately a very long floor.
Yeah. I mean, there was definitely workable main switches there. I mean, there was at least the Mew, the Arcanine. But we do have the Storm badge here. Oh, this is... the plot thickening.
Yeah, so maybe slight advantage for Prism here. The way back from Mount Mortar may not be as far as the way back from Olivine is on bicycle, but if Prism is not going back... Ooh! Silver Wing 2 here. That changes things.
I mean, you're still the Glacier badge and Whirlpool away for Prism. I don't know if that changes that much.
Well, right, we do not have found Whirlpool yet. You are right. What we do know, the Glacier badge is over in the lighthouse.
Yes, we do know that, and he's going to be heading there soon.
And we do have the secret potion from the beginning, so there's no hesitation to do the lighthouse checks.
Oh, absolutely.
Wait for that.
Jasmine's being rude. Ooh. That. Oh wait. Oh, okay. So, all right. So now it's Ivysaur was showing that you should have. I'm the superior plant type Pokemon, or not plant type, but just the grass type, but just plant, and just showing its stuff with that blizzard. It just refuses to miss. And there is the red scale as well for Prism.
Yep.
Oh, Rob takes a wipe. All the way back to Goldenrod. So do remember that Rob can't do this. The Rising Badge was on the return from Kenya trip, so he's still a little bit away from that. Because he has unfortunately taken a couple of extra wipes there.
And as we just saw, the Kenya was still in his team, as it was the Charmander that just got found there at the end. Or before the Venusaur at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been really unfortunate for Rob taking all those wipes. I know that when I take a bunch of wipes, it just really throws me off mentally. Even if they're not super costly, it throws me off my game so much.
Yeah, I kind of feel it. Although I usually save more often than other people, especially on fights that I'm not really confident I'm winning 100% of the time, regardless of what's happening. So even if I wipe, I can just reset most of the time there, so I have less problem with that.
So it's really unfortunate that it's really unfortunate that Rob's gonna have to double dip Mortar right here because he hasn't turned in Kenya yet, and so just because of the unfortunate timing of his wiping compared with Whitney, so it wasn't like right there, and he just Although with the red scale, he might have more incentive to go there.
On the other hand, it's just the red scale, and we do have full surf, so the rocket hideout isn't play that is available to him, so I can see him going further towards Melanie currently. As if he just finds Storm Badge there, he can fly around and save all of the walking. Which, unfortunately will just only take him further away from the Storm Badge for now. Meanwhile, Prism doing things that one person here in the commentary booth probably isn't approving too much of.
Look, I'm just not gonna acknowledge it, okay?
Okay.
We all know it's a scam, alright?
We will see soon if that holds true.
But it's an understandable play at the moment just to get things done.
Yeah, Prism's still looking for Fly, so maybe not really that eager to leave things behind. And the T-Tar still needs a few levels if you want to continue running it, and Morty is just right there to get a few extra levels on it, so might be an additional reason why Prism is going for it at this point.
Yeah. I am a little bit worried about Rob's wipes in terms of his money though, because he is very short on repels, and he hasn't done all that much shopping, so there's significant amounts of money he's lost each time.
Yep. That's one big thing there. If you wipe more than once, you will lose quite a big chunk of your money.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay, so hear me out with my silly play. We just level that Dratini up until it's a Dragonair, and just hope for early strength and plain badge access. Trade it away.
I mean, we have seen worse things to run this ROM, so...
No, I would not wish... No, Dragonair is absolutely garbage. Don't. With the speed choice, gender doesn't matter. In the vanilla game, it has to be specifically a female Dratini. With the speed choice, we get rid of that gender requirement. Oh my gosh, is he actually considering it? Please, no.
Switch Ligar in front.
Scam! Scam! Alright. If SpeedGaming would have allowed me to, I would have already covered the whole screen with my trademark GIF at this point. Not GIF, it's just picture. But we got that going through. I got that out of my system. I would trade away a shiny. Don't look. I think it would be more funny if you got a shiny traded back. Which is possible because we do randomize the DVs, although it's a 1 in 80 24 chance. I don't think anyone's actually gotten a shiny from the trade. I guess the one good thing is I did get my trade strats in at least once before I was out. It's pretty rare to be able to do a trade Pokemon strat and pull it off, really.
It mostly happens when you get a very early squirt bottle and have almost immediately access to more things you can check for those Pokemon to trade with, because the first trade available to you with the Bellsprout is not possible on the first 3 routes. With the
oh, not without a fishing rod or headbutt.
Yeah.
Or rock
with
smash.
the first with the forced good wilds. No, the early good wilds.
Right. The early good wilds, and that also holds true with that Abra as well.
Yeah, and by that point, there really has to be a very, very good trade Pokemon that you want to run over the main you have taken that far already.
Alright, so Prism taking a look at his TMs. We got at least a Fire Punch TM. I don't think that was the one from the kimonos. But we do have a Fire Punch TM. We do see Rob, though, in Mahogany Rockets. It's always a question about when to do it, because obviously the check density is good, but you're making a very huge time commitment to it. And usually it's going to pay off because there's at least usually one item here. But I'm telling you, it feels awful when there's nothing. Like, there's absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it definitely feels awful. There is just, at this moment in the ROM, from Rob's perspective, we do not have Fly yet. We do not have Kanto access on neither player, actually. So, with how early open it is and how many checks there are in there, it is very unlikely that there's absolutely nothing in here that would progress us.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, no, it's gonna be progress here. It also is a good training simulator.
Yeah.
Kirby fan, the trade is not guaranteed IVs. In fact, if it was just, I don't think in the normal game I think the IVs in the normal game are set for the traded Pokemon. So I don't think you would potentially get it in a vanilla game. However, you can get it with this since we do randomize that as part of our UPR settings. So one of the things is, like, I know we see a lot of people want to trade in their TMs, but sometimes I have found that some of the TMs that you just don't think you'll need end up coming in play. Like, I've recently used a lot of Hypnosis TMs for Red to cheese them out. What you need to do is hit him turn 1 with the Hypnosis, and what he'll do is he'll full restore away the sleep, and then what you do is X accuracy to put the Pokemon back to sleep again, so that you can bait out his 2 full restores early.
Yeah, there is a bunch of TMs that you might not immediately think could be useful, but if you take a second or two and think what you can do with them can have some use, but there's still a decent chunk of TMs that you can just sell for money and they will not get better ever.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of niche cases, like another niche case is, for example, amnesia. Like what? But sometimes that's the only move that you're gonna. Okay, that and I guess light screen are the only ones that are gonna actually buff your special defense. Buff your special defense relatively. Whereas, well, I mean, light screen reduces or kind of buffs special defense for 5 turns. You have the amnesia, which gives you +2 special defense stages, which there's no item to increase your special defense stages. You just take the special attacks, and that might be needed to bait the AI to change its tactics. UPR is Universal Pokemon Randomizer. We have a special version that goes with the Speed Choice ROMs, but it is the general thing that we have that randomizes the movesets, the encounters, the trainer pokes, also the names too. Although our names are, I think, just a generic name list in this case. Might want to talk to Sebtrust about doing some of the names for that, but we wanted a nice, safe name list for this.
Yeah. Prism teaching rolling kick over karate chop there and immediately gets the miss on the rolling kick. Actually, move change that I personally not very fond of.
I don't like that, especially since I thought I didn't realize until recently that the high crit moves for Crystal is 1 in 4 chance, which makes me boost my value of boost the value of how I rate just generally high crit moves.
Oh, there's a card key.
Aha! Morning for sure not required. And I think that was Fly just picked up by...
Yep. And that was Strength on the other side. So Prism now having the ability to fly. Rob has found Strength.
Oh, he just picked up Strength too? Oh gosh. Yep. I missed that. Wow. Yes, the item randomizer is a separate program entirely. What you do is you run it through the Universal Pokemon Randomizer, and then you run that through the Speed Choice or the item rando. It's a combo process. Yeah, I totally am agreeing with you with Raylan that I prefer Karate Chop over Rolling Kick. I mean, Rolling Kick has the flinches and it's higher base power, but it's a lot worse accuracy. Like, it's almost not something I even consider ever teaching.
I mean, it says 85 accuracy, I believe, on Rolling Kick, and we all know everything that's not 100%. You have to subtract at least 50% of what's written there.
Oh,
so,
absolutely. I was fuming. I did a seed where I had early Dragon Knight, I had Razor Leaf, and Razor Leaf's a 95% accuracy move. I went through the whole ROM. I think I used only Razor Leaf 12 times. You know how many of those missed?
7?
4 of them.
Wow.
That was ridiculous. It was just like, no. I missed 5 moves entirely that ROM. 4 of them from Razor Leaf, and 1 was a high jump kick miss. Oh, that's right. The Ivysaur has the cross chop.
Yeah, that's a problem.
And there's the Blizzard.
Yeah.
Oh, he got the special defense drop. If he has any revives, he could potentially pull it off a little bit. Alright, max revive on T-Tar. Maybe he'll use a special move with that reduced. Luckily, this is just the lead from Ivysaur. Oh, that was an absorb. You hate to see that. But yeah.
Gets through.
Luckily, the gym leaders don't heal their lead Pokemon. Oh, and there's the Pokegear. Oh, where's that Kanto Axis? Where's that Kanto Axis? And we have a little bit of a Spider-Man meme we hear going on. T-Tar versus T-Tar violence. Yeah, the little. Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, and actually there.
Oh, wait, hold on. That's Rain Dance that was used. Oh. Waterfall. Wait, is that on Rob's side a Zapdos catch? Or is that one of the trainers? I think that's the trainer.
An Electro.
No, I think that's a trainer. I was getting my hopes up. I have switched. Yeah, it was just a trainer. I was getting my hopes up for a moment.
Yeah, in this Tyranitar battle, in the rolling kick battle, there's a caveat to this rule that you have to subtract the 50% accuracy of a moveset, and that is if your opponent has it, you have to increase it by 50%.
Oh yeah, no. See, that's how it balances out. See, you don't hit your moves; the AI always hits their moves.
Yep.
Although this spite and everything, luckily, it's just gonna get through. But that was a rough Jasmine fight.
Definitely was. Venusaur is getting some levels above it. Oh!
That's Kanto Axis! Ooh. So remember, Prism hasn't done Rocket Hideout yet, but he does have that fly and Storm Badge combo.
That is the big point there. Prism has fly, so can at any point in time just return back to you. I think Acrotique at this point, since he wasn't to Malgamy, get over there, grab that Pokegear, and yeah, we'll probably go over to the SS ticket pretty soon, I assume, just to get the fly points in Kanto, get some easy checks in there.
Get a level 50, because this has been one heck of a ride. Oh, and there's the Clear Bell.
Yeah, well, the level 50 won't come until Prism gets over to the Rocket Hideout, because without Pokegear, you're not getting there.
Yeah. We got the Rising Badge check here. I don't know, nice elixir. Much appreciated.
Yep.
Just gonna do these quick checks out of there. I probably would have tried to couple in those Rock Smash checks in, even though it's out of logic. You're only a Zephyr Badge away from it being in logic, honestly.
I mean, with Fly, you can't do them at any time now, so why they're not in logic, why don't just focus on what's in logic first? I mean, it would be an upside if you find, let's say, Whirlpool there and can just check the Route 27 item too beyond Whirlpool, but
I mean, there's I mean, it's a different philosophy where
there's always the little off chance that Zephyr Badge actually might be your go mode, and then those checks wouldn't have been.
No, there's absolutely both things. I'm more liberal because I've had those seeds where, way back before Tournament Sayings, where I think Flash was in Vanilla Basement and the card key was in Mount Silver, and I decided I wanted to do things in the dark, and I there was a required item in Moral Islands, and it's just like, yeah.
Ooh. Prism actually going over all the way
We
from
have a
Route
really
26.
interesting seed here. I do like this. So, okay, so he doesn't have enough to go into Victory Road himself. However, this is a little bit higher level grasses. But he knows that he can always get a higher level main Kanto if he so chooses to.
My big problem with this is with Rocket Hideout still missing and... Oh. Well,
Wait, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that's 7, not 8.
yeah, hasn't gotten a phone call yet.
Oh, he'll get phone call as soon as he takes
Yeah.
the 7.
But couldn't go on to
Rob
Victory
is
Road.
having some issues with... It just has been... I guess this is the reason why we were talking about Venus or having it not as high rated for some people. It's just having issues running this Venusaur this entire time. It's just not been fun for him at all.
Yeah, the big problem for Venusaur is with the many weaknesses it has, if it runs into a same level Pokemon, even if it has stat XP, it can just struggle, especially with our moveset that is not that great, but gets through and gets cut.
Alright, so... That's full West Kanto access, by the way.
Yeah, and I wanted to say that is actually my big problem with Prism going over all the way to Route 27 now, when you're basically just a Pokegear away from having potential access to most of Kanto, and if Cut is just in there, you have easy access to Victory Road and can go from there. And you have Rocket Hideout still, so you have some options where the Pokegear could be.
I mean, there's different understandable plays. That Zephyr badge was definitely an interesting play. We got the Marsh badge, so we have hard flash requirement. None of this. None of this. You can get this out. Unfortunately, So unfortunately, because Rob doesn't have the Storm badge, he's going to be doing the trio of cut checks, where you're going to be asked to cut bushes several times, and it's actually worth, I think, saving here in the off chance that none of those items are required, because it's just a pain in the butt to get out. But we do see Prism now that he's got, you know, Flash he's got Zephyr badge and Flash access. He can just go over and do these quick Rock Smash checks.
Yeah, and now that they're fully in Logic, there's really no reason to not do them. They are so fast, and yeah, if you find your Pokegear, if you find your card key, if you find your Whirlpool HM, you just have so much better options.
Yeah.
So why not do these quick checks first? They will not get faster anymore at this point, and then see from there if anything else that you have has improved.
Alright, so Rob's doing those cut check. He saves there for this one. Oh, he saved away. There's the Pokedex. He's gonna save reset away. I mean, it's a good play. It was pretty bold. Nobody's gonna. You know, sometimes when we're doing these casual races, they're like, "Oh, I got the Pokedex," so then you try to save. Kind of, if you know generally where they are, you try to save, reset it away. This one time, you just save, resets. It just says, "No, I'm not gonna get that Pokedex."
I mean,
just the big brain plays there.
Yeah, the worst thing about having the Pokedex is just your menu gets thrown off so hard just mid-run, and you cannot prepare
Hear
for
me
it.
out. Hear me out. I know that we had the 50, but I would have been curious to at least dex that Zapdos.
Well, you can do that.
I just value the Zapdos.
I don't think this would be
Not
very
here.
feasible for
Not
Rob
here,
right now.
but-
If you would have had Fly, and if you had Kanto access, and you would maybe be able to get it, yeah, there's an option. That's an option you have. It's just
So Rob realizes he's out of the repels basically, and
Yeah.
that the woman who's in that doesn't come in with the store until you've saved the radio tower.
And I actually don't think she has repels either.
She has super repels.
Okay. Never mind. I never shopped there, so...
There's very little reason to shop there. Prism, save you saying there, I mean, I understand that. I've seen a lot of people do that. I'm not much of a fan for that. I understand it, your repel wears out the middle of the ice, but it's just... I don't know, I just don't like it. So, looks like... so yeah, Prism is just doing all the tricks he can. Although now I think he's finally going to decide to do those mahogany rockets once he wakes up the Snorlax. I don't know. Yeah, so Rob's just unfortunately going to just... You have to be careful about your repel management as well. We have seen a lot of, unfortunately, extra encounters for on Rob's side for either not repelling for a few tiles more or just generally not having him around. And although we have to also take into account his money situation for the longest time was not splendid. Because of the wipes. Yeah, unfortunately he also realizes the bad news that Ekritik doesn't have repels.
And there's no real reason for him to return to Olivine, as he has cleared Olivine.
Well, no, well he still has Jasmine.
Part.
Jasmine.
Yeah, for the most part. Yes, okay, you could do Jasmine, but we have seen Jasmine is not the easiest fight, and
so he's super stocky up on repels, 62 repels. I mean, and just uses one right there, but all right. He is he's saving there. I just have a feeling he's gonna do a couple of different checks altogether, but yeah, I don't know which ones he's trying to do there. I usually would save, I guess, after doing the Kenya check. Oh, there you go. He's gonna save the Kenya check.
Maybe thought about doing all of the checks and saving there, and then realized, well, resetting the Kenya way does not help you checking the item on the guard.
He does remember he can use it, so he can just get that quick shortcut to Mr. Pokemon's house. Get that full heal. I think he's probably also thinking about that Route 30, the Mystic Water guys check as well. Don't think he's thinking about any of the other checks because he doesn't have that Rising badge.
Well, we are at the point for Rob where he's really running out of spots for Storm Badge to be, and we do have Surf, so Tojo Falls. 2 items are in logic for that, and it feels bad, but yeah.
I mean, at least he's gonna save reset those away. But I think the ultimate really thing that's been very unfortunate for him is because he didn't do that Kenya return quest very early on. He's just I think leagues behind Prism because of just the order of the checks.
Yeah, it is just so much of a time difference.
And then he does still have to go back and... Okay, I guess he doesn't realize when you have cut going back in this route, you can just avoid all the grass entirely.
If you have repels up still, it does not really matter.
Yeah. But the other thing is that he's still going to have to go back and beat Jasmine. That Jasmine is our ticket to Kanto, and...
I mean, if you get Rising Badge at this point, when you after you return to Kenya and reset it from here, since I don't think Rob is finding anything of value.
No, he's just gonna reset it away after this.
Yeah, then you have the Storm Badge, or if you didn't have the Rising Badge, you can go to the back of Mortar, will find your Storm Badge, and at that point you can just easily return to Jasmine. And you have not much else you can do. So
no, at this point he's running out of checks. I mean, Waterfall is just the Mortar area. No, the bigger problem is just going to be dealing with Jasmine, because we do know that Ivysaur has Blizzard and refuses to mist with that Blizzard. So, there's that. No, and this has just kind of been kind of rough. So Storm Badge was in Waterfall Locked Mortar. As well as I believe the Mineral Badge.
And I think there was one more thing there, although I couldn't remember.
I think that was it. Because
the clear, where was the clear bell? That was also
clear bell was the secret potion check. And the Zephyr badge was Waterfall Locked.
Yeah, the Zephyr
on Route 26, and then that led to the Marsh badge as well.
Well, technically, is it really Waterfall Locked since we, in theory, have access from the other way around?
Well, okay, so it's not Waterfall Locked in that way, but the easier access is the Waterfall. For them at this moment is to just use Waterfall. I mean, they can just go through that and dip back down. Although I guess you'd still have to fight a trainer. if you're going from the Victor Road side. Yeah, this is a little bit painful to watch our runner. Oh, at least Rob's flailing around a little bit. I mean, but luckily, he is making very good use of those save resets, and I think that's definitely showing some poise.
Yep. I mean, we all had those ROMs that just had fly hidden in very, very bad spots. So there are some strategies where you can make educated guesses and go for some things where it could be and then reset out, and you will learn them over time. So yeah, this show that Rob definitely has done some of these, and yeah, is still not returning to that guard. Is now maybe going for...
He's gonna go back to Jasmine.
Oh, this could be bad. Although Rob should know that even if he finds the SS ticket there, Storm Badge cannot be behind that.
Yeah, Storm Badge will not be behind the boat. Yeah, he's going back, so I think that's at least worth it. And eventually he'll get that. I think the only check left at this point for him would be the clear bell, or would be the secret potion check, which is going to get clear bell. But really, the only check left for him is turning back in. Actually, okay, no, there's a couple more checks. There's the soft sand check and the item right before the soft sand, because I don't think he did either of those. But we know
did the
that...
item right before soft sand. I
don't see him doing soft sand girls early on at this point. I mean, at this point, he could handle it, but
well, he won't do soft sand girls at this point because he will be doing the guard return before that, and that will give him Rising Badge, and Rising Badge will open up 9 items, or is it? What we do that strength X, or it's 13.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's 13 of them because there's the strength locked items as well.
So I think at that point you just go back over there.
All right. I don't see Rob going. Oh yeah, he's gonna save and gonna check the clear bell check. Or it's not clear bell, the secret potion check, which is gonna be clear bell. It still does hurt me to see him with so many repels. Like, I know he was trying to stock up, but I mean, it should be enough for the rest of the game. But it's just I'm so used to doing super repels or super max repels. Maybe not even max repels. I don't really get used to max repels. I just buy super repels.
It's just 1 super repels equals 2 repels. So you have to do double the menus for the same amount of repelling. And
the repels wear off in very inconvenient spots.
Yeah.
But a single repel is enough, as Rob demonstrated, to get through that entire part. You gain the clear bell, and I believe Poke Gear was something Prism just picked up.
I do think so.
I
Yes,
didn't
it should
see it. I didn't
be.
see it, but I know it's in the rocket hideout.
Yeah, I think it was that item there on the way back that you get.
Yeah, I see him. It's marked on his tracker, so yeah, which is a little bit ahead. Rob does have waterfall. He does not have rising badge. It's a little bit hard to tell with the tracker, but he does not have the rising badge. Rising badge is returning Kenya. Is the going back after you've turned in Kenya.
Which is one of the few checks that's still open for Rob.
I mean, he's got that and soft sound girls, and I don't think, as we've talked about it and pointed out in chat, that soft sound girls is not normally on the list of checks you want to do right now.
Yeah, I mean, at this point you would do them if you don't find anything else, but we know he will find something else.
At this point, though, Prism is, I think, pretty set, and just because he's had access to both parts of Fly so much sooner. Oh, Rob hasn't done this either. Oh, right.
Yeah.
We do know though today, though, that it is for sure. Oh, well, okay, so yeah, for sure. Morty is a scam.
Yeah, there was no reason to do Morty in this run.
Nope.
You got your access to the card key. That will be your access to Tin Tower if it is necessary. And
yeah,
Morty didn't have an item that was required. So
nope, nothing even good. I think he had maybe an elixir or a full heal, maybe as one of his items, but just to save yourself the trip.
The unfortunate thing here for Rob is now that even Jasmine wasn't anything that was Storm Badge, he is kind of forced to do Morty now, since he went up here and then saved here, instead of doing the save reset or saving at the crossroad and checking the guard item first, which then maybe would have compelled you to do stuff Sand Girls also if that wasn't anything, but I probably would have preferred to doing those two checks first before you go all the way up here.
I mean, well, you have to remember there's more checks here though for doing Morty and Burn Tower. It's 3 checks. In terms of check density, it's just better, just movement wise. In the meantime, we're gonna get the lovely boat music here from Prism.
And after that, I think Prism will immediately check out the Snorlax because you're almost right there.
No, absolutely. He's had a not so fun time with this T-Tar. In fact, neither of our runners have had a great time with their main. Prism did take that, so you can take that movement Prism does on the way from Olivine to Vermilion. If you try that movement though on the way back, you're gonna hit that burglar that's sitting there. So we do try to advocate for people to take, when you go into the room, take a step to the right.
Yep. I've done my fair share of fights against that burglar.
It's no fun to do that. I mean, it does save in this case a turn frame. But I think just in general muscle memory, I've just conditioned myself to just take that step to the right.
Yep.
Alright, so nice thing is about this is Prism probably already knows, because he's been around the block for more than enough times, that once you get off the boat here, you can just fly, and your fly point's right already at Vermilion. You can't do that for Olivine. You actually have to step into Olivine City itself.
Yeah, that's one of the things that always throws me off and feels really annoying if I do not get squared, what'll and have to access North Kanto from North Johto from the boat.
Alright, so he is saving for that 50. I think he's committed to speed switching as long as it's something workable. Alright, okay. Well, that's workable. I mean, it's very much workable. Oh, that's not a warning kick. That's well, I guess that's twice the warning kick. Yeah, Wartortle is workable. Blastoise is workable, but not. I mean, I'm not jumping for joy for it.
Stab Surf with Mystic Water. That's worth to do. Blizzard for coverage.
I mean, but you have to remember, Blastoise is like 70, or no, it's like 83 special attack. It's it's B for bulky. Oh, so he can teach Zapcan Fire Punch. Maybe not Zapcan. I don't think he's gonna teach Zapcan quite yet.
Yes, Blastoise is not the strongest, sure, but it is bulky, as you said, so it does survive quite a bit, and you can just make up for the bit of bit of missing special attack with an additional special attack, X special. I mean, so.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, it's got Stab Surf, which is gonna take it long distance.
That's the big upside of water Pokemon in general in this item randomizers. Stab Surf is just so powerful and so usable with that 15 PP.
Oh no, that's why we have there's some of the Nerf HM stats, because when they used to do races to the Lance, it's just Surf was just you just slap Surf on something and it's instantly runnable. And you know, same with sort of Strength, but Surf is even more so because it targets the special side, which is usually the weaker side of pokes. In addition to water covering, just better overall offensive typing. It's just very good offensive typing. Like water is just one of the best types. There's just no question about it.
So yes, Blastoise is no Thunderbolt Zapdos or no Psychic Mewtwo, but it is definitely not a main that you can do much wrong with.
Absolutely. So we do have the Rising Badge finally picked up by Rob. We did have the Plain Badge picked up on Prism's side behind the Snorlax. And Rob is gonna go do Soft Sand Girls. Might as well while you're here. It's just... Yeah, we'll see. I'm hoping for Rob's sake that there's something there, because Prism didn't do it.
Actually, did Prism skip out on doing Prize? Because I do not see cut marked yet, and I do believe that was on Prize, wasn't it?
Yes, Price was on cut, and no, he has not. I'm looking even at his tracker. He has not done cut. He just did Rocket Hideout and just noped out of Price. Unfortunately, wait, no. Oh, that's why he couldn't go further. That's why he couldn't go further there. That's why we're not seeing West Kanto checks at the moment. These Soft Sand Girls, oh my goodness. Calm down! I know we interrupted your training session, but... Whoa! Calm down! Jesus. Ugh, God. That never feels good when you're struggling on random trainers that you just wouldn't expect to struggle on, you know what I mean?
Yeah, if you have a Pokemon that has decent stats, and Venusaur definitely has decent stats, and is 10 levels higher, you do not expect to struggle, even if your moveset is not optimal.
I mean, he's got pretty good coverage, just overall.
Yeah.
It's just Dragonite is that hole in there. No, it's just oof. Yeah. So what are you hoping that the soft sand girls have?
At this point, maybe Whirlpool for Rob, so he has immediate access to the Lugia.
Oh, that's pretty good. I was honestly thinking myself, Rainbow Wing, but I like your thoughts better. But yeah, do check out our runners though while you're in a little bit of a lull set. Just make sure to give them a good follow and give my fellow commentator PrismZetta, sorry, Rowan, a follow as well. Sorry, all these names in my head are just they're all meshing. I apologize.
No problem, I know that.
And if you're feeling extra generous, you can give me a follow too. But
That's not a
we're
rainbow
just
wing.
beginning. That's a rainbow badge. It's pretty close.
And it's
Totally
probably,
different function, but
yeah, and probably the one that Prism likes more to see right now.
oh,
Because he
absolutely.
do not want to see more stuff opening up. He actually wants to find badges so he can end stuff. And
So it sort of has felt like it was a slowish start, but right now everything's just coming along. Boom, 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 boom. You know, getting that Zephyr badge early was actually, I think, sort of a blessing in disguise because that was what 3 or 4 badges, or 3 badges now. I think locked specifically behind Flash.
Oh, that is 1 hard locked and 2 logic locked badges behind Flash.
Yeah.
Yes.
So for those who are wondering, if there's more trades here in Kanto, a lot of people don't know the Kanto trades. The guy on that table right there, you trade a Dugtrio for normally a Dodrio there. It's pretty rare to do that trade, mostly because you just generally don't want to catch Dugtrios, but also that it's kind of out of the way and you don't get access to him very quickly. But that's one of those sneaky trades. There's also the trade in Pewter for trading a Hunter. Alright, so of course, see, unfortunately, Rob didn't go here as early, so he didn't get his Storm Badge. But the fortunate thing is it's high enough level, though it's not taking him to what felt like eternity for Prism to get through.
Yeah. That is the one advantage that Rob really has here. Being in Mount Mortar with a Pokemon high enough in level so that you can just repel through here.
Yeah, I mean, I think if he was happy enough with his main, he would have done the Mahogany Rockets first to get enough levels to repel through all of this. But of course, when you're searching for a main, it can be a different use. Right, there was the Mineral Badge here. I forgot there was a Mineral Badge here along with the Storm Badge. So this is, I know it looks pretty like Prism's like way far ahead, and he is, but it's more sort of the gap could be closed very quickly.
Yeah, there is just that one difference in Rob actually having cut and therefore being more inclined to maybe doing West Kanto checks before going over to stuff like the Rock Tunnel where 2 more badges are waiting. So,
but of course, he's just doing price now, and he's getting that cut right now. So
yeah.
that advantage has now been mitigated for the most part.
And it might not have even been an advantage, although now that Prisoners might also do that, it will be negated both ways.
Yeah.
But I mean, there is just nothing in West Kanto, this could have taken Rob on an extra tour that wasn't necessary.
Oh no, absolutely. I mean, I think there's just a lot of quick checks to do, and I think Prism did most of those quick checks anyways. Especially because he had access to Flash.
Yeah.
And, you know, sometimes having the order of when you're picking up progress does matter. Here's the Silver Wing for Rob. I forgot that was in this area of it. Rob having a little bit cleaner movement through Mortar. A little more efficient movement-wise than Prism did, because Prism did go around some of the other ways. But we got that going. He's gonna do his checks.
Quick rising badge
I
check.
don't know if he's gonna do what Prism did and go climb the waterfall, but it wouldn't be totally it wouldn't be totally crazy. No, he's just...
I don't think so. You have full access to
Because yeah, well, I mean, that's
position.
one item, because he's already checked the other Route 27 items, so... I mean, you can always just do that check anyways with Victory Road checks, as you pointed out earlier on. Yeah, so... Prism did unfortunately pick up that Pokedex. He didn't have Rob's super gamer sense to pull that one off, but he does have now, since he has strength and plain badge, something is he's going to be able to now go back into the ice path and get more juicy checks. Rob showing off the movement that we approve of in the boat. It may be slightly slower because of turn frames, but it's the safer movement.
Yeah, better do this movement unnecessary than not do it when it is necessary. Because that loses you way more time.
Yeah, so when you start doing these, you just go by muscle memory, and you want to establish good habits with that. I'm looking forward to these clean swag boulders from Prism. I think that was a pretty okay, you know, it wasn't as much, didn't get as far away once he's pushed that boulder down, but very clean movement overall. Pieces of candies, always appreciated.
Yep. If it's not a badge, then you like it to be a piece of candy.
I also accept elixirs, revives, full heals, full restores, max revives.
There's just so much elixirs you actually can use in a run, and you are never unhappy about having one more piece of candy.
Well, I mean, elixirs, I burn through elixirs a lot, actually. When it rains and pours with elixirs. Sometimes you get a lot of them, sometimes you don't.
Yeah, true. Although I do play a bit more around with PP ups and
I trash those.
So I may not need as much elixirs as others may.
I trash PP ups. I sell them. They're good money.
Early on, especially in the first, like, say, 20 minutes, I do sell them, but if you can have 40 wing attacks, why wouldn't you want to have that?
I mean, that sounds good, but I'm perfectly happy with 30 of them.
But what about 24 drill packs? On a whole, oh.
I mean, you only need about 15 if you're one-shotting things. Because you only need the bare minimum for the red.
but 24 drill packs. Nah.
I mean, there's no wrong answer with the PP ups. There's lots of good times to use it. Most famously, I will. Oh, there's the rainbow wing.
Ooh.
I will. I mean, I am more of a. I mean, if I have a 5 PP up move, I'll use one on it in case I want to keep it around for red. Alright, so Prism, not gonna be tempted by Tin Tower. He's just gonna go through to West Kanto, and I think that is a very good play because he's got all of West Kanto to do. He's got Victory Road to dip into as well.
Yeah, do these quick checks first. I expect him to not do a bit slower stuff like Grog, for example, right now.
Mm-hmm.
And
so Prism taking some safe movement there, which is very good. You know, I do like that Rob is beelining it to this west side of Kanto.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate that while he's doing it at the same time as Prism, Prism's already kind of done most of all the other checks. Yeah, so you can get past that spinner right away if you don't bonk. However, if you even bonk, It's just better to wait.
Yeah, I think that is one of the maybe the spinner I hit the most, or the second
Oh
most.
yeah, it's notorious. Oh, there's a few of them that are notorious. He's one of them. Yeah, he's got 3 pokes, and it's just ugh.
I have just learned to accept my fate and wait that one out.
I'm trying to up my game a little bit to do that, but you know, it all depends. I'm very notorious to prone to bonking, but you know, it's practice, and you know, it's just little things I'm trying to optimize at this point.
There are spinners where I did wait them out, and then at some point brushed up on my movement and learned to avoid them with better movement. That one I refuse. I will just fall back into bad movement.
I don't blame you
have
there.
It so fast, and
no,
that one just it's just so annoying in its movement and the timing.
It's bad.
I'm not taking risk on it.
Yeah, I mean that one I understand. There's definitely a lot of them where you have to wait. There is no choice, and there's ones that are safer to wait, like the girl right outside of Tojo Falls. I saw the optimal movement that speedrunners use for it, and it is just bonkers. I go, no thanks. I don't want that movement. I'll just wait.
No, don't talk about that spinner. That one is the one where I try to wait him out and then still mess up my move and run into it's just that is my specific hate spinner of the game. That one,
oh no, the one I specifically hate at that point is the infamous, the one, the only, the 6-poke swimmer that you should never even be going near.
I just don't go near that one.
That's the better solution, yes. Alright, so Rob is going to pick up his Zephyr badge, which is going to be very key right now. So Rob is starting to come back a little bit. He is, of course, still, you know, he is 4 badges behind, but, you know, they're relatively quick spots.
Yeah. Rainbow and Thunder badge are just waiting over in Rock Tunnel, which is very quick set of checks.
And then we have the March badge in Saffron, or not Saffron, the Flash Chamber, and then the Volcano badge was... Where was Volcano badge again?
I don't remember.
It was a quick check though, I think, as well.
Yeah.
I just need to make sure that... Yeah, we need to double check my stuff. Yeah, TM29. Oh! Rob hasn't been there! Yeah, that's right! Psychic guy.
I have to admit, I'm not sure which exactly that one is.
No, Rob hadn't even gone into Saffron. He just booked it to West Kanto.
Yep. I can see it. I mean, in Rob's perspective, you have just the Snorlax you can get to, and then have full West Kanto access. All these checks that Rob is doing.
No, absolutely. And this was needed for him anyways. Logic. It was. This was the better play, definitely.
Oh, is Rob grabbing?
He's gonna get the he's not going to E4. He's just getting the victory road point.
Grabbing the fly point for now. Maybe shop a bit in the E4 Mart, grabbing some full restores.
So supposedly going on that side is supposed to be faster, I think, according to Vandio. To fight, but I don't know. It doesn't seem. I mean, I don't know. I trust Vandio with this kind of thing. He's run gold, silver, crystal. He's run gold, silver for the longest time, so you know I trust him.
We do have a Suicune fight on Prism side.
Mantine, I love you, but not good enough. Right, 3 more tiles for rival movement. And rival bookline, it just beelines it to you. Not like Claire, who likes to take her sweet time strutting her stuff. Oh, everyone hates Everyone hates Claire.
That's a Cascade badge. So we did need that clear bell, we did need that rainbow wing. That was on Route 45.
I think Rob's gonna do that. He just hasn't taught it much. I think it was just doing what he had with stuff. He just hasn't evolved his War Turtle. I don't think Rob's super happy about switching his to Blastoise, but or maybe just is holding out hope for that Lugia.
Maybe. I mean, personally, I would prefer Blastoise over.
No, I think he's committing
anything.
to the. Yeah. Oh. Oh no. I mean, I would say no, but at this point, we've seen very much point taken with Blastoise with Venusaur just struggling.
I mean, if the Venusaur would have had a moveset with at least Ice, Thunder Punch and Ice Punch, preferably Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, then I'd say yeah, coverage will be in my favor. But we do not have that, and the Venusaur is just not high enough in level for me.
Yeah, it looks like Rob is not entirely fully committed to that Blastoise, or to the Wartortle into Blastoise. He hasn't switched it up. I don't know what his plan to moves. Okay, so he's planning on doing rockets, although okay. I think he's is he gonna use rare candies? I'm pretty sure he has some.
Yeah, I think he just does not want to use them as the rare candies similarly used or are more efficient for the highest levels you can use them on. So
you're not going to get as much impact. That's the thing, is that you want to, I've started to realize that there's a certain times where you want to use them, and the difference between in the end here is going to be sort of minimal. When you can, why save them to the end when they have kind of the least amount of impact, when you could have them right there and then.
I just think Rob's thinking is the level 50 war total should normally not struggle on these fights, and so there's no need for the rare candy just yet. I'm not sure what he's searching for.
He was looking for healing items, and I didn't see what that Ho was. Wasn't anything important. We did see Prism pick up the basement key as well up on top of Sprout Tower, Tin Tower. Yeah,
that's actually not something you're really happy to see, seeing open up more checks that are potentially very slow.
Prism he is going to couple it though.
Prism did avoid doing Rocket Tower so far, so basement not really something he wants to do immediately.
Yeah. Rob is committing though with this. I mean, I think it's fine to avoid the rockets as long as you can until you get basement. At that point, basement just adds in another 9 or so check, or 6 or 7 checks at that point. So
yeah,
but he is going to be able to. Prism's going to be able to couple in the Waterstone Chamber and the Ho Chamber though, so that's even better. Just movement there.
Yep.
Now, Rob's committing to it. It just, I think, as he said, just doesn't need a candy. The War Turtle is good enough to deal with stuff. It does take additional turns, but
yeah, I mean, like I said, the thinking is probably the War Turtle should not struggle here and should be able to get one-shots on these levels, and the amount will eventually evolve into Blastoise just the same. It just didn't turn out that way. The Mewtwo on the very first trainer said otherwise.
Yeah, no. You take me serious, really, okay? I don't know why he's a Rocket Grunt with a Mewtwo, but I guess they have some weird, strange things going on there.
I couldn't tell you.
Yay! We found the bicycle, guys! We can go faster now!
You know, ride the second bicycle alongside the first one for basically double speed. That's how it works.
Exactly. You can go bike on the water now. You don't need to go do that menuing of, the water looks nice. We don't need no stinking lap rest. We just got this, right?
Yep.
Unfortunately, Blastoise, as much as it's an upgrade over War Total, it still struggles on the dealing damage department. Okay, so looks like we're getting down to the not so good checks right now. All the quick and easy ones have been done. Looks like Prism says, you know what? I'll join you in Rocket Tower, Radio Tower.
Yeah. Still has the plan badge check in here. Well, in here, not the arena itself.
Gotta get into the correct building first. It's very important. I know we all get thrown off a little bit. It's totally understandable. He is doing some PC healing. Very good choice. Although at this point you have elixirs as well, so you have plenty of elixirs and max elixirs I saw in his bag. So
yeah, but you have now done Tin Tower in Prism's case. You have Rocket Tower now, or Radio Tower, and then Basement. This opens up Claire too, at least 2 item checks in Dragon's Den.
That's the worst. Oh my god, dude, that's the worst. Doing Claire's gym and then having to go into Dragon's Den without either the Whirlpool or Glacier badge. It's just. Oh.
Yeah, now my point is just the other options that we have are just not that great anymore. We do have the Kanto leaders. I don't think Prism was to booster yet, so there's, I believe, still that Route 15 item.
Yeah.
There may be the Route 12 items too. Not sure.
I don't think he's gone back for those items. Correct. So there's also, I mean, he can do the gym leader gauntlet of Lane into Janine into into whatever.
There is a Route 4. There is the Nugget Hedge Maze. So there are some things Prism can do, but the Rocket Hideout is just, compared to those, a much denser location with the basement added to it. And if you did not find anything in there, you can still look from there. But,
I think Rocket so far has been a bust. So far, which is rather unfortunate. Well, we'll hold out for Basement.
Yeah, so in this combined area, the Basement has still, I think, about double the items of the tower itself. So it's more likely that the one of the progression parts is there. Yeah, with still 3 badges missing for Prism, I expect the Whirlpool HM to show up at some point.
So we have a question about in the chat, seeing that Prism has the edge up, is there anything Rob can do that would be better? And the answer is no, unfortunately. Prism has done everything Rob has done and more, with the exceptions of a couple. I guess the only thing check that Rob has at this point over Prism is Soft Sand Girls, which was nothing.
Yeah, there is that one thing you can do, and that is just say, E4 is required the seed, I go there first, and see from there.
Oh
and
my god, is that
if you
from
do
experience?
that, it does pay off.
Is that from experience, Braylon?
I don't know, maybe. Yeah, there's just, if you do all these Kanto leaders, they do take up time, and yeah, if Rob is just doing the quick checks and then just does not need to hunt down the last badge to the very last check. That can be the one thing Rob still can do here in this position. I think everything else, if he is following Prism or doing anything else, is most likely leading to Prism finding the last badge, even if Rob does manage to locate it prior to Prism.
Yeah. It is interesting though that Rob did manage to grab only Johto badges first. You know, it just
I did want it to point it out a bit earlier, but then forgot about it. But yeah, it is something bit interesting how this happened. Because it's the set of badges you actually want to have first, because it enables you to do stuff.
Yeah.
On the other hand, it maybe is not this set of badges you want to have, because it enables you to do unnecessary stuff, potentially. So.
You know, I think at this point, well, no, Rob might be hoping for Whirlpool still to get a higher level main, but Prism is sure as heck hoping that Whirlpool's in Mount Silver. He doesn't want any of that anytime soon.
It's a hard thing with that, because World Island checks feel a bit faster compared to everything else Prism can do after the basement. So yeah, maybe hoping for one or even two badges to be in there, and then just having to hunt down that one last badge and get lucky. Also, that Whirlpool would make Dragon's Den a much more attractive play than not having it. But yeah,
I do like Prism saving here for this false vector, because it's just gonna overall save him PP in some time. This is not super relevant experience for him at this point.
Yeah, that's a big point. I think here it might give him a level, but that level is not that important. And yeah, the walking back there that you save from resetting are a few seconds.
Yeah, it just. So Rob is probably gonna get his Rainbow Wing soon. I do hope he's gonna start coupling in those flash checks soon too.
I mean, for Rob, if he does find the Rainbow Wing, he can go up to the tower and then has all 3 chambers, I believe, remaining.
Yes.
So he can just couple in the Flash Chamber with the Waterstone Chamber after doing the Ho-Oh Chamber, so that kind of works out in his favor. Still,
one of these days, I'm gonna couple all 4 chambers together. Just.
I mean, if you get a squirt bottle early, you can just say, okay, maybe get a squirt bottle and surf and fog badge, and say, okay, I can just grab a Kanto main and go from there.
There's really no reason to skip the escape rope chamber. Really, I don't think
there's no reason to, but there might be a setup where you can say, well, might just do later, and if you get lucky, who knows.
Prism isn't quite yet going to Claire. He's got the juicier basement target at the moment. Yeah. Oh wait, no, Rob's going to Claire. Oh. This is a bold play.
This is actually one of the plays, especially with Whirlpool missing, that could pull Rob back into this.
Oh, absolutely. I was watching Storms earlier, and I think it was last night. It was just, yeah, he goes in, and what do you know? The last badge that he needed was here, and of course no Whirlpool at all. It's just like, oh. Yeah, so I think it was the other day as well. There was Glacier badge in Dragon's Den. I mean, we got plenty of times where it's happened like that.
Yeah. So the biggest possible upside for Rob would be if the 3 remaining badges we don't Prism hasn't are somehow locked behind the Dragon's Den, and drinks then having Whirlpool and its succession leading to all 3 remaining badges, because there's not so much else that Rob would do from here until he gets to the other quick checks.
Yeah,
and
no.
Prism has quite a lot to do before he ever goes to Claire.
No, I think Rob is pretty sure that he's behind, considering how late he was to Storm Badge. I think he knows that, and I like this play. It's just when you know you're behind, that's when you start doing those desperation plays, and because it's a go big or go home thing, and sometimes, it's paid off for me in the past to do those Hail Mary plays, and sometimes it's just, a bust. But
yeah, it's always hard. You obviously not watching your opponent, so there is no sure way to say that you are behind. You never know how your opponent is routing a seed, and he could just miss a fly as badly as you did. So there's always the chance that you are just ahead and think you are behind. So there's always a risk to this kinds of gambles to make. But I think with how Rob routed the seeds, I think you can fairly assume that there is no worse way to route this, or no.
It was just unfortunate how his main struggles with that Venusaur just led him to have to do unconventional routing, and unfortunately in this case it just didn't pay off as much as as we would hope.
Yeah, and so this is maybe one of those times where you can probably reasonably assume you are at least quite a bit behind, so you do need some kind of play paying off. And this is, aside from E4, one of the plays that can pay off.
Mm-hmm. On the other hand, we've had a barren basement. Ooh. That just, ugh. I just am feeling disgusted by this. Okay, never mind. Alright, so... Yeah, so I think the reason why Prism was here is because he's gonna go X item shopping.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he does not have the X item. So yeah, going straight to the 3rd floor, gonna do those X item shopping.
That is the big point here of Prism's routing. If you talk to the director first, the door to the mart opens. And if you intend to go shopping afterwards, this one is actually faster.
Yes, of course. Alright, gonna get those X specials, those X speeds. I was always we were joking one time about buying 20 of each. Like, you don't need 20 of each. But then I think my mind's sort of been changed because of that one tiebreaker. Where the infamous Mew tiebreaker.
I don't think I quite catch that one. But I want to say 20 is definitely a reasonable amount you can always come across needing, depending on how your fights go and how many of them you have to do.
I think 20 is a little excessive, but you have the money to do it. It's quick menuing. The other thing, the main thing is that it's for red. You only need like a handful of them. But you never know. Oh, that was a Rage Candy bar on his War Turtle the entire time. That's so funny.
So what Prism did was buy 30 X special, and I think at that point it gets somewhat excessive.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that you think it's excessive, but then comes a time where you have to set up your main multiple times, or you just get roared to oblivion.
Yeah, and I actually personally encountered a ROM where I did buy 21 X special, saying, okay, that will probably enough, and then at the end we're really missing one or two for a good feeling. So sometimes they can just you can just run out faster than you think.
I am surprised Prism. Sorry, go on.
No, almost not.
No, I am surprised Prism taking the cycling road here. I think most people, especially since he has West Kanto access, would just do the Blaine loop into into Fuchsia to avoid having to fight this one single trainer.
It's definitely a way you can route that, but maybe Prison actually does not really want to fight Blaine, and if you try to put off Blaine, then yeah, these are still 2 checks on this fight, and then the third one on Route 15 that are quite a pretty fast compared to other things you can do.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of movement to go into to the Cinnabar and then the Seafoam Islands.
Yeah, and those ways only get you to Blaine and Blue, and that are just 2 checks, the same amount you do just with this one fight.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Prism's just looking for those quick checks because at this point he needs those items. And then we're gonna. I think there's a badge in here that Rob is doing that I just don't remember. Did I miss it? No, never mind. There's nothing in here. Nothing in here. It's the flash chamber and rock tunnel. That's right. We do see Rob though pulling that off though. Really good chaining of Blackthorn side of Dark Cave with the Violet side.
Yep, that's one option you have if you put off the Rock Smash checks.
Alright, so Janine is nothing. It's rather unfortunate that the whole rocket sequence is just required. Like, it's the Rainbow Wing for only that one badge at the bottom, the back of the basement, because you have to do that because the basement key is in Tin Tower.
Yeah, but you did not really have to do Radio Tower, you know?
Well, I mean, it's more optimal than Morty. In this case. But yeah, I think we're gonna have Rob checking that out shortly. It looks like it's just more, but this is just the badge hunt. So it's 2:15 right now. We're just kind of the badges are now slowly just trickling in, and it's just so frustrating because it was a slow start, and then all of a sudden you have all these badges, and then it just slows down again. It's always like that.
Yep.
We were joking before, and I said, "Hey, you want to go for a quick seed?" And he goes, "What does that even mean?"
Yeah. I mean, quick seeds are in the end just seeds where you get lucky because, you will need to have the luck to find that sneaky badges that are hidden very well somewhere on one-off checks. And most of the time, fast seeds mean you just luck into the right one-off checks and skip the unnecessary ones. Of course, there's always the seeds where you get fly super fast, good main, early squirt bottle, pass, so you do not have to do the slow walking or slow ways movement, and that always makes it faster. And then maybe get to skip Tin Tower or Rocket Hideout or something like that. But most of the time, you are not that lucky.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, so right now, it's just... Yeah, so we did see... I mean, we do have the King's Rock sort of paying off for PrismZetta. Small fun fact for Gen 2. King's Rock adds flinch chance to moves that don't flinch. Doesn't work to increase your flinch chance on all moves, like in the other games. I don't know why, but it just doesn't help your flinch chances with flinching moves.
Oh, looks like Rob is out of healing items.
Yeah, Rob's been very tight on the healing. It's been he hasn't gone shopping for healing items a bunch, and you know, his early money troubles from wiping kind of, I think, threw off some of his shopping patterns, because as we know, he bought a fat stick of repels. He bought 60 repels? Or 60 something repels?
I mean, that amount is definitely what he kind of needed at that point. That would translate to 30 super repels, which at that point I think was still the right amount to buy.
Oh yeah, no, generally 31 super repels is the general amount. If you're feeling safe, it's 41, because you for sure won't need 40. 30 is sort of cutting it close. Alright. Yeah, we're still on the hunt for the last 2 badges. It's just, and they could be anywhere, so it just feels bad.
Rob does catch up a bit in badge count.
Get that Cascade badge in here. I forgot there was that badge in there. He's gonna get that basement key, which is gonna lead to the soul badge. Yeah, I mean, he's getting back here. I mean...
Yeah, I mean, this does look very far apart from each other, but we do still need to remind, or we do have to say, Thunder Badge and Rainbow Badge just laying next to each other in Rock Tunnel, which is very quick to get.
And then the Marsh Badge is just in the Flash Chamber, which is very simple, and Rob's going to combine all those Chambers checks together.
So...
And he's going to get the basement key here for that Soul Badge, as we mentioned earlier.
Yep. So what Rob is doing here is necessary, and what's still missing, or many of the things that's still missing from him, is pretty quick to get after. It is just the 2 remaining badges that we don't know. It will matter how long Prison takes to find them, and how fast can Rob locate them after that.
Yeah. I think after this, I foresee him doing, like, Erica, because he hasn't done Erica yet. Something like Erica would be good, but I guess he's just going to Blue. He'll do Blue, maybe Brock, and then couple it with E4. And if you're feeling extra spicy, you couple it the rest of it with Nuggy Hedge Maze. AKA Route 25. Saves you some flying time.
Yep, it's definitely a nice, smooth way of rounding all those checks together in a string. You still are looking for 2 badges, so there's no reason to, or no point really to hunt for one-off checks in case that your 1 remaining badge is there. You would have to need to do that at least 2 times, and then there's definitely a reason to just say make the routing smooth until you find at least 1 more badge, and then see from there.
Alright, there's the basement key from Rob. Yeah. No, I am hoping that Rob does go shopping, whatever.
Trying to catch the Tyro, getting it. Okay. Works out. Yeah, and immediately going for the basement, looks like.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, there's still a problem that his Blastoise has only 3 HP, I think. Currently, so I would have preferred to see a heal of some kind. Can go to the herb shop in here, but only having PP on Dig left is not the greatest, although these Pokemon are only at level 7.
And I guess Blue was nothing? Ugh. Yeah.
Oh,
Alright,
and then
Alright, strap in, folks. We got the press A simulator. Okay, Alright. Oh. Jeez. Rob doesn't have. Oh my god, does he not? Does he not have. Oof. You gotta. This wasn't. Yeah, so this is also PP management and a T that you need to do. Is you gotta make sure you got those items, or at least keep track of. Oh, what can you do?
he did elixir, but then maybe decided, he needs Blastoise to faint anyway for it to heal right now, to be able to use a revive on it. So
yeah, but that's still kind of rough. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Rob is just wants this one to be over and is kind of hoping at this point that Prism just finds the remaining badges. Because yeah, it was just such an awful run for him. There were so many things that went wrong, and that is at some point just weighing on your mind. Of course, that body slam gets the paralyze in.
Yeah. Oh, you just hate to see this kind of stuff. Oh. Wait. He was paralyzed so much. Yeah, it just.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just. No, I do love Bubble Beam. It's trying to help out. It doesn't have the ability. It doesn't have that ability to improve the launcher. It doesn't have. Doesn't Blastoise normally have an ability to improve attacks like that? Not that you would really use Bubble Beam anyways with that, because Surf is just better in that case.
But it's stab. That's good, right?
Yeah, well, Surf is better stab.
Oh, hey, look, energy powder. It's a healing item. Rob needs that.
I think it was more hoping for a revival herb if you're gonna look for that kind of thing.
Well, yes, still some extra revives, so.
Are we done yet with this the boring part of the Nugget Hedge Maze?
Nope. 2 more trainers, I believe.
Ugh.
At least one.
This is when I just start zoning out with that one. I just in a normal run, and you just press A, and you check your time, you drink you drink some coffee, you just. Unfortunately, you just gotta have one hand on the controller to at least smash A.
Yeah, and I actually expected Rob to just turn around for that Folio Star.
I think he did.
Yeah. Making some room.
He's tossing a bunch of items. You know, I think he's realized that, oh boy. He's gonna keep those money-saving items. He's gonna use the energy powder. And the heal powder, very good. Full restore, very much approved. Oh, we got Blissey!
That's some nice juicy XP here. Oh, not even enough for level 59, but... There's the soul badge for Rob.
Alright, so we got Kanto badge number 2 for him, just a few more to go.
That's just a hyper potion at the end of Nugget Hedge Maze. Let's see if
it's quite a fabulous prize indeed. Here, your Pokemon must be getting low in HP. Let me give you a hyper potion.
Yep.
Prism ruining Misty's date. What a pest.
Yeah, and Rob now going for Slowpoke. Well, that will eventually lead him over to Union Cave, going to do the chambers all in a row, which will lead to the Marsh Badge eventually.
It's real funny. I thought you two, yeah, don't want to be seen with someone. I mean, it is kind of embarrassing and quite understandable. Look, some of us just like to be party crashers, and some of us are just party poopers.
And Misty is not it, so Nugget Hedge Maze was not required. But still, Prism is slowly but surely being done with most of the checks. Did I miss him pick up Whirlpool, or is that going to be an E4 play?
E4. It's 2:30. You got pretty much garbage checks. We go into E4. I would have probably at least waited to do at least Erica, but you know.
Yeah, so what does Prism still have open? Did he do Sabrina? It's not done Erica?
Prism. I don't know, but he should still have Sabrina. He should still have Surge. He should still have Erica, Brock, Route 4,
and Claire.
And Claire, yes.
Yeah, there is still quite a bunch to do, and Prism definitely did route decently through the seed. Of course, it is unlucky that at least two badges are still missing for him. But yeah, this is still kinda early E4 play.
I mean, even though so. Just like it happens when, you know, you're far behind, you sometimes make plays. You don't want someone, if you know you're super far ahead, or someone, or in this case, he probably doesn't know. He doesn't know he's super far ahead. But sometimes if you're feeling like really good and everything, you want to be able to do the checks that someone else thinking they're super behind would do. So it's kind of like, you know, to out mind game someone.
Yeah,
but this is just more of a trying to figure. I think in this point he's just saying, you know, look, 2:30. We've had super fast progress, like for the middle of the seed. My opponent's not done. You know what? I'm feeling bold. I don't think Prism feels behind.
No,
Maybe
it's
not.
definitely not that he feels behind. It is just in this position. Is it really necessary? To do now? Would it be still better to try maybe to get other checks out of the way first? Are we really at that point where E4 is a decent play, or something that would help your opponent and not lose your not lose you lose this race for you if you are not right with it? So it's hard to say, but I definitely can get behind this, and if Prism does know that he's maybe the slightly stronger player and has done decently well in the seed, doing that at a safe play against maybe your opponent nailing that last badge, sure. Still, I would probably prefer to do a few more of the Cantoleers first.
Okay, so I would absolutely have done Erica first. I would have absolutely done Surge first. I would have absolutely done Sabrina first. Oh, there's the Volcano badge, and we got the Marsh badge as well for Rob.
And that's kind of what we spoke about earlier. These missing badges that Rob didn't have yet, they are not that hard to find. They are pretty quick to get. So if this E4 play turns out to be nothing for Prism, and Rob somehow manages to find the other 2 badges, we actually have a close race again. It's still a lot of ifs in that.
Oh no, absolutely. I don't think I see Rob doing the E4 play as early as Prism's doing. But he's getting these checks done that he didn't do in Kanto before. It looks like he's gonna eventually head over towards, Rock Tunnel, pick up those 2 items, and he's gonna be the exact same items as him, just fewer checks.
Yeah. But let's say now, the way Rob is routing, he can just easily do Sabrina right after this, and let's have Sabrina the machine part. Rob can immediately turn it in, get the 2 badges on the way, and the machine part has Whirlpool. Rob does go over to Claire, get 1 badge there, get the other one in World Islands, and Prism isn't going back or isn't getting back there that fast. So this could give Rob the advantage he needs.
Yeah, no, this is of course Rando. Anything can happen. When you're hunting. We got 2 more badges that could be anywhere in the world, and just where they're gonna be, you never know. Yeah. So. This has just been kind of like we already did. Rob already did Claire.
Yeah.
So I understand Prism not doing Claire actually. Just
no. Claire I understand.
Claire I understand. Erica, Sabrina, Surge, absolutely before E4. Sorry.
Add Sabrina in any case. That is just so quick of a check.
Yeah.
With this high level. I mean, the big point with that is if Sabrina or any of the fast checks is just Whirlpool and the 2 remaining badges in there, you lose so much time by doing E4. And even although you get a few levels on there, with the Blastoise you are usually not that starved for levels, especially if it is the Snorlax.
Worst case scenario for Rob is the last 2 badges are the E4 locked ones. That's happened to me before.
Yeah.
I have absolutely hated it because I literally 100% checked everything in a race. It was just Yeah,
if there is a badge E4 lock, then this Prism has won this race. I will say that at this point. Although, if the last remaining badge is somehow behind Claire, there would be chance for Rob to get closer, but still at that point, I think Prism would be able to get that race.
So this is at one point Prism had like 7 or 8 badges on Rob. More, I think, actually.
Yep.
And look at this. We're now gonna get these next 2 badges. You get the Rainbow badge. We're gonna get the Thunder badge, and nominally they're tied up.
Yep. And there is still checks that Rob can do that Prism hasn't done, and if those checks lead to the 2 remaining badges, that will just flip around the race.
Yeah, this is. And keep in mind, people, this is single elimination. So you win, you go through. You lose, you go home. There is no losers bracket for this. That we're gonna have some good races. Prism has we've talked about Prism's got the Kanto gym leaders. He's got Route 4. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it.
Some Kanto leaders. So I think he has not done, or we think he did not do Surge, Misty. And he did not do Sabrina, which we saw had nothing.
Yeah, he has done
Did he do Brock?
No, he did. He went from Blaine to Blue, and then went and did the Nugget Hedge Maze. He has not done Brock, as far as I know.
Yeah, so there's Brock in Route 4.
He might have. I don't think so, but yeah. Anyways, we got with the fancy. Now just remember not to reset too soon. If you reset too soon, it's not the E4 anymore. It's now the Elite 8.
Rob going shopping in the E4. He did grab that fly point earlier. If he goes for this Hail Mary play, he will actually lose because of it, because Prism has countered that chance.
Yes. Yeah. Rob needs to sell his excess items here. Those nuggets, the protein. I guess he's gonna hold on to the proteins. Selling the Mystic Water. No, he's doing E4. All right. All right. So there was nothing on Elm.
With this, I will say that Prism is most likely going to win this race. I mean, there's always red. And I have commentated in this tournament before where red tried to be the equalizer and tried very hard to do
that.
So.
Just happened to me last night in a race with Rob and Furious. I was on red first with a Nidoking. Ice Beam Alakazam lead. No. So then I had to rely on Cloister Sleep strats, and I have a beautiful clip of what happened to that once I got through that Alakazam. The Articuno decided it wanted to play roulette, and unfortunately, it ruled Horn Drill.
Now Prism going for soft and girls after he got a good rod out of doing E4, so now he can catch level 20 Pokemon. Yeah. We know Soft and Girl won't have anything for Prism. That is one of the checks Rob actually did before.
Yeah, it was right after he got that Rising Badge.
So this is still both will do some stuff the other one did. But yeah,
Prism's not gonna have as much trouble though.
No, definitely not.
Dragonite's not gonna be a threat.
So at this point, really, it does. There is still that chance that there is stuff in Dragon's Den, which Rob, after finding Whirlpool, would just have to go back to Dragon's Den for to get. Prism would still have to fight Claire. So that is still some time that Rob can make up there if it's required.
Oh my gosh, Rob's getting trolled by this crocodile. It's skull bashing him, and the problem is it's stacking that defense. So every time he goes for a dig, it gives the chance for the skull bashing to stack up. Oof. This is the big difference between Rob though, because he's 6 levels behind Prism.
And the moveset is a slightly bit different, and I'd say just in general,
he
the
has
moveset
fire.
is more streamlined on Prism's side.
Yeah, Prism I think has the fire punch over the dig. Okay, so Prism's gonna go do Claire now. So in this case,
so this will also mean there would be a double dip needed for Prism if there's anything in the back of Dragon's Den. So this is
double dipping is not as bad as it could be.
It is not something that will give Prism an advantage just yet. It is it is time that Prism will do something and get nothing out of it that Rob can finish E4 with.
At this point, we got chat asking why I don't. I think at this point, Prism's like, okay, Rob's most likely done those other checks. I'm gonna get ahead, and he's not done. Let me go ahead and do this. But unfortunately, neither of them have done those checks. So, because Rob, I know for sure has the mentality. I'm pretty sure he's. I don't know. I'd be feeling terribly behind at this point.
Oh, of course, and Rob has not done a single Kanto leader yet, I believe.
Rob's done
one.
Sabrina.
Yeah. So
Prism has done Janine, Blaine, and Blue, and Misty. He still has a lot of those easy checks left. relatively easy. And Sabrina, which we know is nothing. He still has Brock, Route 4, Erica, Surge. I think those are the only checks left we haven't seen.
Yeah, there's this point where Rob may be wondering, wait, I now did E4 unnecessarily. Why is Prism still not done? It cannot be those easy checks, can it? So he might go for the more unusual, the slower checks or more unusual checks of.
Yeah, no, this is when the
so,
mind games are going through. You just the mind games. It just.
And there is this, or this is one of the reasons why there's definitely a good way or a good reason to say I don't care what my opponent does. I just play my game and hope that it is enough. So
yeah,
you, as we see, you can mind game yourself, as both runners are currently doing somewhat, or more. Prism is more likely doing right now, doing the slow checks first that don't amount to anything that Rob needed to do to maybe make up that lost time.
Right now, Rob is really struggling because of his moveset. We've sort of talked about this before, but like having the fire punch is doing Prism so much more work.
Yeah, you do have Blizzard in theory for grass coverage, but
I mean, yeah. So Prism's got the slash instead of strength, but he's also got the fire punch instead of dig, and I think dig on a main is just it's not good in this generation. In Gen 1, sure. In later gens, okay, but in this gen, no third.
If it's a ground type physical attacker and you do not have Earthquake, then I can see a reason to say, have dig there as that move can work out. Everything else, I just say, nah. Dig is a utility move to use instead of escape ropes, not a move used for fighting.
Yeah, no, this is mind game stuff. Ugh. Yeah, but we have seen sort of all differences that because Prism's more willing to teach these more helpful TMs and more willing to commit that. You know, it's. I think we've seen he's just had an easier time clearing things generally.
Actually, I think just Rob did teach the fire punch TM at some point to his Venusaur that he was running for much longer.
That's right. I blanked on that. My bad. So it's not his fault. He was teaching the best that he could. My bad. You're right, because he did commit that fire punch. That's why he was able to get through Jasmine. I apologize.
Yeah.
That was an oversight that I was thinking, and but yeah, it was. But he did hold off on those moves though from Blastoise earlier on, and definitely with the water gun versus waterfall.
Yep.
I mean, it doesn't always make a difference, but sometimes you just got to be willing to commit.
Oh, looks like Prism is going for Sabrina.
All right.
So that is actually the last check, I believe, that Rob has done over Prism.
Yes. Prism saving outside here doesn't really care about the experience on Sabrina. His Blastoise is high enough level to comfortably go against Red. Once you're in the low 60s, it really doesn't make a difference. As much as since I think he still has his rare candies. Yeah, 64, real.
Yeah, those E4 levels really kicking in here.
Well, I mean, he was doing all the fights until E4, so that was the difference, is that he had done all those higher up fights, so his 5 or 6 levels. So E4 is giving both of them experience, lots of them, but it was just the small difference of just being able to one-shot things much more easier than Rob was.
Yep. That's a guard spec. If you hadn't bought it, I would actually.
If you hadn't bought it, yeah. Well, he bought one when he was shopping.
And there is maybe a reason to hold around for a second.
Oh my god!
There is.
So you got it. So his Blastoise was struggling enough. He has to rely on the Mantine. It just.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was the last. That was the last poke on the last trainer. He's gonna get healed right now. No biggie.
Yeah.
Although, let's go, Mantine! Mantine. Oh, this Clef was just. It's just destroyed. Trickums is thrilled. And Kilda's crying out. Is probably hearing the cry. The shout of pain of something. Sorry. It's as if 10,000 cries or 10 million cries were just suddenly silenced.
So Rob has now talked to Elm and the Rainbow Wing.
Yeah, so unfortunately, we don't have a mark on our tracker about E4. Honestly, I didn't. I don't think it was really worth having, but we would have them lit up for both people, and in this case, it's just unfortunate that E4 not required.
Nope.
But we did get some amusing. We got to get the nice champion music though, or preview of the champion music.
So what Rob has to do here is hope there's nothing on Brock, and that is Whirlpool.
Alright, so... Alright, that just opens up, like, everything now.
Yeah, and I think at this point, actually, there has to be at least one badge behind Whirlpool, because I think... Oh no, there's Erica still.
No.
Erica and
There's no Erica? Erica, Surge, yeah. It's not guaranteed, but he's playing the odds now.
Rob is doing Brock right now, so he's actually just a minute behind Prism.
Oh my god, this is huge. Let's go, Rob. This is, it seemed like, for the longest time Prism was, so far ahead, but Rando is Rando. This is getting closer to the game. Rob's gonna have a little bit of a harder time on red, but
Now imagine Rob didn't do E4 before going to Brock. This would have just been such a difference.
Oh no, absolutely. I mean, sometimes when I go... I think in Rob's case, sometimes when you're going later, sometimes I just opt to do Brock on my first checks of pewter. Just get it done.
Yeah,
because Brock has the second lowest gym... second lowest levels of all the gym leaders.
Yep. Brock has 5 Pokemon though, which feels slow, and there's a second trainer before, and most of the time when you're in Pewter, you still have the
Route
victory
2
roads
checks
and Route 2 checks and stuff to do, which are just faster, and once you went away from Pewter, you do not really feel inclined to fly back. So
I understand.
It's always a hard to get the timing right.
Oh my gosh. This is just... ugh. So, Prism... And the mystery egg! Oh no, you just... This is the... And you thought you were done!
There's the boulder badge. So this is actually maybe the worst kind of thing, where there is one badge here and a bunch of fetch quests. So
I think you ignore the fetch quest. You just go for the other thing. You just... Yeah, I think we're gonna see Rob just beeline it to World Islands.
Absolutely. It's just, what do you after this for the last stage? And that is the one.
Oh no,
thing
he's going to Dragon's Den again. Oh.
And the second batch is in World Islands. Oh, I get behind this play from Rob.
Absolutely. You don't think your opponent's done this? There's no. You don't think your opponent's done E4. You don't think your opponent has done Claire yet? Because why would you do Claire until just now, right?
Yeah.
But this is still really close. I think Rob's gonna go into go mode very soon as well.
Yep.
But this is what I was saying. Don't, when you get those first questions at the last 2 badges, just ignore. No, just don't get sidetracked. Check density.
I meant if there's one badge and then there's just one badge remaining, you do get 2 fetch quests. what did you do first can make the difference at that point.
Oh no, absolutely. Yeah, sorry, I misinterpreted. But yeah, no, I always get a little nervous when you see those fetch quest items. He goes, oh, there's the path. Thanks, Elder. Thanks, thanks, Claire. Oh my gosh.
Okay, what could Red have that would get Prism struggling in some way that I cannot even imagine would be?
I
able
mean,
to
I
make a
think the
difference
only
here.
thing we could see is maybe Zapdos with Thunderbolt. But I mean,
Would that be enough at this point?
it wouldn't. It could one shot you, but I mean, I think you're okay and just gonna go with it. Oh, is he gonna teach Zap Cannon? Oh, please, yes, Zap Cannon, yes. Wait, teaching over Blizzard. Although he has a Blizzard TM. But he's keeping that slash in case there's a Blissey. But I would have just gone all in with special moves, just all in. I don't like teaching over Blizzard there, but he has a Blizzard TM. He can teach. I'm pretty sure he has a Blizzard TM as well because War Turtle came with.
I mean, if
with
there's
Blizzard.
a leading Dragonite with, I don't know.
Oh, so Rob hasn't done. Oh, Rob hasn't done Cyanwood or. Oh,
yeah,
right.
That is the big problem for Rob here. He has had so much to do still that he could do, that he could get sidetracked more. It was a bit unfortunate here.
Alright, so this Gator is not going to be a problem.
Yeah. I personally would have preferred probably doing World Island first still over the fights here, just because I got that.
You have 2 badges left.
Yeah. But yeah.
I mean, I don't think Rob is. I mean, I don't think Rob's going to skip this. I think he's just.
Nah, he is not skipping it. It's just it's unfortunate that he does do the unnecessary checks before the one he needs to do. But from his perspective, he cannot know. There might just be one badge here, one badge each, or even both badges here, and Prism for some reason didn't go here earlier.
It's just Alright, at least we have a very good lead to set up on. Feint Attack's not great, but you know this is trivially easy to set up on. You're not, and you know Prism's gonna set up. There's a nice stat kind of chart thing, or some stat breakdowns that Storms did about if your stat is at this much, this is how many X specials you need, or not X speeds you need to outspeed everything that's not called Electrode. But yeah, this is, no problem. Just +6, get a couple X speeds, X accuracy, just hit those zap cannons, no problem.
Okay, he did teach Zap Cannon over Blizzard because he had Fire Punch. I think you could have done just teach Zap Cannon over Fire Punch. Coverage doesn't really change, but if you're going to use Zap Cannon, you are going to use an X accuracy, and then you can just use Blizzard.
I mean, I probably would have just slapped it over Slash anyways, actually, just because you're setting up X specials. Yeah, it's Blissey control, but yeah. And GG. And Prism is done with a 257.11. GG. And yeah. Rob is doing the DNF. I mean, understandably, this has just been a long thing, and we'll definitely get them both in. GG.
I don't feel like it was, but yeah.
Well, I mean, you end up being pretty far ahead because, unfortunately, Rob, GG, Rob. You were actually really close to the end. Actually, you were really close.
Were they both?
You got your whirl. Yeah, they were both a whirl.
God damn it!
Hey, calm down, buddy. It's okay. It's okay.
Dude, I was making so many risky plays. I did E4, I did Claire. Oh,
You both did E4.
And
Oh, we
both
both
did Claire.
Did Claire?
Actually, so you did Claire much sooner than he did, but
oh my god.
Rob, you were doing E4. You started doing E4 right as Prism finished E4. Yeah, Prism, you did pretty much every one of those checks.
I am missing Surge, Route 4, and Erica.
Yeah,
and
we
then the
were.
missing part.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm missing a hodgepodge
And then you got the
of stuff in
egg check as
Kanto.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so, you know, Rob, you were making... Okay, so Prism, you were very far ahead because you got Storm Badge... You got Rising Badge pretty quickly. You got that Storm Badge, and you were kind of making
Oh,
all
that
sorts of
rising
like, checks.
badge. That rising badge is gonna haunt my nightmares the rest of my life.
Yeah, so... Yeah, that...
I think I
both
got
of you
an
guys were
hour
sort of
and a half
struggling with
in.
your mains, though. And that was kind of rough.
So the Venusaur could not kill anything.
Wait, you were
like
using
it.
the Venusaur? Oh my
Yeah. So I
Dude, that
switched off the
Venusaur was
Venusaur.
garbage.
I switched off the Venusaur to T-Tar, which could actually kill things in one hit. The problem was everything had a fighting type move.
Dude, what are you talking about? Everything had an ice type move.
But yeah, I don't feel bad to switching to the T-Tar. I just he was fine. He was fine.
Yeah, it was
it's
fine.
just man, it sucked until I got to the Blastoise.
Yeah, that Venusaur was rough.
So, okay, so Prism, you saw kind of several workable mains in Mount Mortar World. Did you think
you mean the
about
Mew that ruined my life?
Well, there was also the Arcanine as well that could have been a switch a little bit on the lower level side, but it would have been somewhat workable as well.
I had a radio card and an expansion card at that point. So I was just banking on the Pokegear, which thankfully I got the Pokegear pretty soon after that.
Yeah.
Like, I did Mount Mortar, got the Storm Badge, went straight to the Lighthouse, got Fly, and then I was set. Like, that feels good. That was like an hour in, I had Fly.
Oh, must have been nice.
Yeah.
I was very close to, I think, last checking Fly.
I also can't believe technically Morty was not a scam this time.
Oh, yeah.
No, he was...
If I hadn't done the card key and the basement key, I wouldn't have missed anything. So if I'd just done Morty, gone up 10 tower, and done none of the other checks, I would have been fine.
No, there was a badge
No, he
in
was
the
still a
basement.
scam. He was absolutely a scam. There was card key available.
There was a badge in the basement.
There was no badge in the basement.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, there was.
Wasn't there?
The Marsh
Soul badge.
Soul badge.
Soul badge.
Yeah, let's say the Marsh badge was in the Flash Chamber.
Marsh badge was in Flash Chamber. You got Zephyr badge really interesting, you know, because we were a little bit hesitant about, you know, kind of going up the waterfall. I mean, obviously you had Fly at that point and Storm badge, but it was just like, well, and then, you know, pay it off for you.
Yeah, the Zephyr badge was really good for me. Because that had like 2 badges immediately locked behind it.
Yeah.
It was a really good pickup.
Yeah.
But yeah, I regret doing several things that I did, but I technically worked out.
I mean, if it works out, it works out.
Yeah, it does, apparently. Alright, well, I'm probably playing Snorms in the next round, so that'll be fun.
But yeah, this was random. This was actually a really close match.
Yeah.
I mean,
I almost wish, now that I'm here, I almost wish that you just told me one of the badges was behind Nugget Hedge. Because then I wouldn't have... Because then it would have been like, alright, whatever, I made a risky play, I made the wrong risky play.
Well, no,
but
I mean, the thing is that...
The issue now I'm realizing is if I was less risky, I might have won. It's like, are you kidding?
Yep.
Well, Prism, okay, so Prism,
Oh.
I did want to... So, when I was starting to get those layer checks, were you thinking, well, my opponent... I mean, it's getting late, my opponent's probably done
2.5 hours in, he hasn't finished, yeah.
Yeah.
Like 2.5 hours in, if no one's finished, I'm thinking E4. And hey, you know what? I got a good rod out of it.
Yeah.
Yep. Can catch those level 20.
I'm assuming, Rob, you knew you were pretty far behind
Dude,
from that Storm badge.
So, the moment I was getting on the SS, the boat, I said to myself, I'm behind. It could be as little as 10 minutes. It could be as much as 40.
Where the heck was the pass? Oh my god.
The pass?
Was,
I just got pass. That was Dragon's Den.
That's That's fantastic.
Yeah, because as soon as I got Whirlpool, I rushed Dragon's Den before
Oh my
anything
God.
else.
Oh my gosh! So this was really close. You know, for the longest time, you know, it was really Prism, your race to lose. But that Rob, you made that comeback because we were telling people, you know, at some point I think Prism, you had like 13, 14 badges, and or it was like 12 badges, I think. And Rob, I think he still had only like 3 or 4 at that point.
I had 3 badges for I think the first hour and 45 minutes. And I was losing my mind, like, where are all of the badges?
They're
But
on
yeah,
the
so-
ground.
I was like,
Yeah,
if he finishes and I only have 3 badges, I'm not even doing an interview, I'm just gonna go cry.
Yeah, no, but then you made this spectacular comeback. We were telling people all
Oh
the badges
my
were like
God.
really quick checks, so
Yep.
it made for a really good race. And you know, we did see sort of the differences in sort of because Prism, your early game was a little bit cleaner because you were willing to slap Waterfall right on that Venusaur. You were willing to teach it submission, so you had no problem with some of the early game that, of course, unfortunately, Rob, you had a little bit more struggle with because you weren't one-shotting things with Water Gun.
One-shotting things. Like, half the gyms I were fighting just didn't like Venusaur.
Oh
I
my
don't know,
No,
wipe,
he did not.
a
Can
wipe,
we talk about
a
how
wipe
much I
to
hate?
Whitney, a wipe to Jasmine.
I hate picking up Surf and the Fog Badge in the same place.
Nah, I was fine with it. We had Squirt Bottle by that point, so I was okay with that.
Well, so what I did was, I think the smartest play to do was save, then go
Mhm.
do the surf checks, and then quit out because they were nothing.
Yeah, that was very
So,
good.
I was going to do that, and that was going to be my plan. And then I wiped to Whitney, and all hell broke loose.
Oh,
Yeah,
So then I had to start improvising on the fly.
that Machoke
and
was scary.
that-
I'm not gonna
That
lie.
wipe to Whitney, I'm gonna be honest, that wipe to Whitney might have cost me the entire thing.
So
Because-
that Machoke,
Yeah.
Because
that
I.
Machoke, right? That was
Yeah.
the time when I switched to the T-Tar. You know what that
Yeah.
Machoke has?
Oh,
Mach
it has everything.
Punch. It has
Oh,
Mach
yeah.
Punch.
Oh, I'm
and I was
aware
a
it has Mach
T-Tar.
Punch.
It hurt.
It
so
also had Mega Horn, which
Oh, it has
also
Mega
hurts.
Horn, which was fun. Yeah, no, honestly, I'm not even kidding when I say this. I genuinely, now that I know where the last 2 badges were, there is a chance I might have won if I just picked up Kenya before Whitney.
Yeah, we were thinking
Because
that. Yeah, that's
if
what
I got
happened.
Kenya first, then I would have been able to turn it in immediately. I would have gotten Fly immediately, because I did Lighthouse before Rocket Hideout, so I knew where Fly was. And then I would have gone to and then, you know, maybe even if I still had a wipe to Jasmine, if I had Fly at that point, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the good news is Red was
Whatever.
kind of easy. His opener was a Feraligatr that only used Feint Attack.
Yeah, so that
And,
was very good.
So thankfully, I was looking through my TMs. I was looking for something to kill a water type with, and Zap Cannon. It's good enough. I have an X-Ack. Let's
So
go.
you taught Zap Cannon over Blizzard. Did you? Were you think? I mean,
Fire
was
and
that
ice. Fire and ice have a lot of overlap. So I just wanted something to kill water types because that was the thing that has been walling me this entire time. And Zap Cannon fits the bill. Like Slash is the reason I had Slash was just to kill water types because my moveset covered everything else basically. That was just obnoxious.
Did you have any questions, Raylan? Sorry, I know we've been.
No, you were just asking anything that I would want to know, so that's
Well,
nothing
okay
too
then.
specific.
Well,
Yeah.
good game. Sorry
Yeah.
it ended up that way. It sucks.
yeah,
I
I
know,
mean,
but
I don't know. Part of me is happy it was close, part of me wishes it was more of a blowout, so I'd not question the decisions I made, but I don't know.
it's just
I mean,
Brock.
you.
Why? So
No one expects Brock.
Alright, Prism, I have a question actually. So I did E4 because I was convinced I was half an hour behind, and you hadn't finished at like the 2.5 hour mark.
Yeah.
Why did you do E4?
Because it's 2.5 hours and no one's finished.
I mean, I don't think I haven't had a sub 3 yet, so
You never know. I mean, you guys. I mean, it got to the point where Prism had most of the progress, and it was just 2 items, and it was just
I feel
you
like
never know.
I feel like so obviously the way you're gonna play during a tournament is different than the way you would play normally. If this was a normal run, there's no way I ever would have done Rocket Tower or E4. And with that or at least I wouldn't have done Rocket Tower before getting Basement. So with that keeping in mind, this could have sub 3. Right?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
But
there was a lot
I
that was
knew I
going
was
on.
behind, so yeah. I mean, it got to the point where there were some stupid easy checks that I never did, like Route 15. Like,
Yeah.
because in my mind, I was just like, well, you know, if the last badge is on there, then he'd be done by now.
Yeah.
But then I
But
was
yeah.
like, oh, I'm missing 2 badges. Maybe he's only missing 1. Maybe that is 1. After Whirl Islands, I was absolutely going to go do Nugget Hedge, so.
Hey, you would have gotten absolutely nothing.
Well, Whirl
then
Islands
Hyper
apparently is
Potion.
all I was missing, so.
A fabulous hyper potion for your troubles. I guess the only thing before I guess those are the most of the things. Is though, Rob, so you bought like 60 repels. I guess were you just thrown? Like,
I
your
got
repels
so
stuff.
frustrated because there were 3 different times where I ran out of repels and didn't have them. And I wasn't getting Kanto access, and I was mad. So I just kind of said, F it, I'm buying all the repels. And you know what? I don't blame it for a second, because I ended with only 19, so... And I bought like 61, so...
I bought 40 super repels and I ended up with like 12 or 13 left.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I
usually
mean,
what I buy.
Well, I just kept running out of repels everywhere!
You can just basically do simple math there. 2 repels equal 1 super repel in terms of steps. So yeah,
yeah.
actually Prism did more repelling
Yep.
at that point. Or
Yeah.
more repelling.
I mean, but either way, I mean, it was that kind of thing. And then I think there was just a little small difference, but yeah, they just, I think, yeah, the wipes, unfortunately, I think, Rob, were just kind of the ones that were just hard, holding you down for that. But then your big gambles would end up paying off, and just, it was, you know, you guys had done Brock right one after the other. It was just like, oh my gosh, this is, quite a comeback. So,
Yeah,
hold your head up
if
high
only
for
I
that.
went straight for Whirl Islands. I almost did, but in my mind, I did Dragon's Den because I had already sunk the time into Claire, and I figured he hadn't. So I knew that if he had Whirlpool, he was much more likely to do Whirl Islands before Dragon's Den.
True.
So I did that, and then I was going to go to Whirl Islands, but then I decided to just do Chuck instead. I don't know. I don't even have a good reason for that.
Yeah, it's absolutely understandable. I said as much even when you did it. And yeah, if there was a badge in Claire for the longest time, even before you found Whirlpool, I said it would maybe one of the things that could help you catch up. And yeah, I actually do not. No, I absolutely do not blame you for that play. I
No.
can
I
see
mean,
the
you were
reasoning
right
behind
there.
it. Maybe was one of the best plays you could have done in your situation, and it was just unfortunate that it didn't work out, and that
Yeah.
both of the badges were actually in World Islands, because
Yeah.
with the 2 fetch quests that came prior to the 2 badges, there was
Oh
also the
my
chance,
gosh.
if there was just 1 badge in there, and now you have a bunch of fetch quests you can do, which one do you first? It's your choice deciding that race. So
Yeah, so.
I didn't get every item, but I'm imagining the lost item was also in Whirl Islands.
I don't know. But Prism, were you starting to hesitate when you saw those fetch quest items?
It
before
had
the-
mystery egg and machine part, and I'm guessing that lost item
what
was
in
also
Whirl
in there.
Islands?
Yeah.
I don't know, but
Oh, okay.
I mean, it could have been Mount Seller, but just those fetch. When I honestly, when it gets to like the last few badges and you start seeing extra fetch quests and areas open up right before your last badge, I have that moment of hesitation where I have to like, no, I'm focusing on what I was going to do beforehand.
Mhm.
no, you absolutely should finish doing
Yeah.
what you do, unless you are in a situation where you know you have screwed up something so hard that you really need these last what could it be, 3 minutes, or that every second you can get somewhere you will need probably to win this race somehow, and then you need to make that one gamble to bank your race on. That would be
Yeah.
the only time where I could reasonably say, okay, you get a fetch quest and you leave. But this was not the situation for that.
No, I
Definitely
think it'd be hard for me to get a fetch quest item in Whirl Islands and then just bail. That would be without checking the rest of Whirl Islands. That'd be rough.
Yeah. But anyways, GG again. You know, congratulations, Prism, for moving on. You know, unfortunately, Rob, you joined me in the
Oh well,
people
I
knocked
told
out,
you
but-
yesterday I was going to join you, Snowbear.
But we got that. But regardless, we have more matches coming up though, and we have our next match is on Monday at 4:30 p.m. We have Diego Armando versus Machu Midori, and then we have 2 matches on Wednesday at 1 o'clock. We have Urgote versus Dragan and Bad News Nate versus Pow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, both of them. So those are our next 3 matches coming up. So please stay tuned as our. Although, and then also later that Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. we have Wingy versus Audley. So we have, you know, lots of matches coming up the next few days. So keep your eye out for these Speed Gaming channels as we've got our, you know, our round of 32 kind of wrapping up in these next 2 weeks, and then we'll get all our other matches scheduled as soon as possible. Thank you so very much for joining us. Good luck again on the tournament, and we'll see you later.
Later.
See ya.